Yo, yo, yo. What is going on? Let me turn this off. Hold on. What is going on, y'all, man? Late nights. Late nights are always the best nights. There we go. Late nights are always the best nights. What are y'all doing up, man? At 11 o'clock. Well, it's 11 o'clock. It's not that late. It's not that late. 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. It's been storming here in Texas. And I got on live, man. I don't nearly have nothing to talk about. I really don't. But I didn't do the Friday live stream like I thought I was going to do. So I figured it's late. I ain't got nothing to do. Let's see what the people talking about. I know there's some basketball tonight. I think the Celtics won. But yeah, the Celtics won. And the Suns are now playing the Nuggets. And that series has not gone as expected. But y'all probably don't even care about none of that. What's going on the Florida State tip? What's going on with our Seminoles, man? We got two big visits this weekend. We got Key. We got Coleman. If I had to pick, Key's the priority. Coleman's the luxury. You want both, obviously. But how y'all feeling on this? If you're drinking, man, if you're sipping on anything, even if it's water, let me know what you're sipping on in the chat. If you indulge in smoking, whatever it is you do, man, what y'all doing on a Friday night? Maybe you ain't doing nothing. Maybe just sitting back, kicking it, watching TV, playing video games. I don't know, man. Whatever it is you're doing, what y'all doing tonight? Me, I was playing a game. That got boring. So I said, let me hop on live, man. Let's see what the people doing. Louis T wants Coleman. Loden's drinking a Heineken and smoking the trees. I feel you. I feel you. Lethal simplicity with the addition of Coleman. All right, Panama, what's good with you? That's what we're doing. Let's shout out everybody who kicking it with us on a Friday night. We got No 850, Louis T, Loading, Panama Jack, Tyrone Oliver, VJ. VJ, you're gonna have to let this go, bro. Nixon 5. I said it. I stand on it. Nixon 5. You gotta let it go, man. Gotta let it go. John Shields, Char says, any chance we actually blow out LSU? Is always a chance. Anytime you step on the football field, anything can happen. I wouldn't put my money on it, but there's always a chance. There's also a chance that we could get blown out. So be careful what you wish for. Project Dynasty in the building. Jeff in the building. Tyler's in the building. Knicks are trash. All right, Loading, you're about to get put in timeout. Watch your mouth. Warriors in 5. I think Warriors in 6. But I hear you know 850, but I would say Warriors in 6. You know what? Great question. It's still there. I just need to. The problem with the revamp season, bro, it takes so much time to play the game, then edit the game footage. So it's not like, because y'all not finna sit through an hour and 30 minutes of, at least I don't think you want to sit through an hour and 30 minutes of me actually playing the game, right? So then I edit the videos down. I cut the videos down to about 30 minutes a piece. So at least the games I feel are watchable at that point. It just takes a lot of time, man. It just takes a lot of time to play the game, edit the game. Once you edit it, load it, like you're talking for a 30-minute video, and even if I didn't edit it, which you gotta edit it to some degree, I can't just um, you're still talking about uploading. You're still talking about for an hour to 30-minute video, 5 hours of time that it takes to get it uploaded. That's honestly the issue. And I just haven't really like sat down and made 5 hours to do that. But I do plan on continuing the video. We got all summer, man. So I'm gonna bring. Don't worry, we'll have more revamped. It just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I know it's been a minute since I downloaded the last one. I hear you, though. I hear you. Well, let's get into some. We'll get into some Coleman and Keon talk. Tyler says he thinks Coleman is basically a lock at this point. Interesting. Interesting. We'll talk. Definitely got to talk these two guys, right? These two are really big additions. So we're gonna dig into that. Louis Cheese, North Orleans, Atlanta yesterday at a booster meeting trying to get that Coleman and Key money. I feel that. Friday night Black Label with the 601. Let's get Key and Garnet and Gold. Absolutely, VJ. Absolutely have to get. I agree. I know Coleman's the big name because Coleman's got big time production. I mean, Coleman had as many receiving yards as Johnny had at Michigan State. And I honestly think I don't know who's number one if you bring in Coleman. Like, you want to say Johnny's number one. I don't know if that's. I think that's a good competition. It doesn't really matter, one or two. They're both on the field at the same time. Coleman's the big name. Key has to be the priority. If you haven't noticed, we need safeties. We need safeties. What's up, Raymond James? What's going on? Char says he'd rather have an hour 30-minute revamp season instead of none at all. Okay, I feel you. I understand it. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get back on it. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get back on it. Like I said, those videos are not. They're not hard to make. They're just time consuming. Don't worry, man. Let them know, Raymond James. Hit the like button. Share the video. It's late. I don't expect a huge crowd in here tonight. I don't care if we had 10 people in here tonight. We just gonna kick it tonight and talk a little bit. So no big deal tonight. But please share the videos as always, like Raymond says, and hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Panama. I'm still trying to figure out why would Micah enter the portal, other than he wanted more touches, or he feels like he wanted to be able to gain a role in the offense post injury rehab. I kind of explained it again, my own conspiracy theory here or rationale. For the most part, it doesn't make sense. But the only thing that makes sense to me with Micah, you weren't going to play this year, right? Do you want to play next year with AJ Duffy and Tate Rodemaker? I don't know. He sees those guys in practice, so he might have a better feel that maybe he just doesn't want to be a part of. And it's not just even the quarterbacks. You're probably losing Johnny Wilson this year. Jaheim Bell's probably 1 year. I know Jaheim Bell has 2 years, I believe, but he's probably going to be a one and done. Your offensive line is going to be vastly different. Your offense next year is probably going to go through a major rebuild, reconstruction. Does a guy in Micah Pittman, does he want to be part of that? That's my rationale. Do I want to be part of that? I'm already going to miss this year. Do I now want to come off of an injury and be part of a rebuild offense? Maybe not. Maybe I hit the transfer. I sit the year that I was going to have to sit this year anyway due to the injury. And maybe I go to an offense that's more further along than what you think Florida State's going to be. Maybe that's the rationale. It's the only thing that makes sense to me, right? When we get Coleman and Key, y'all can thank my 2-figure donations. You know what, Tyler? It's funny how Battle's End came along and you no longer hear of Rising Spear. And I know they're still a thing, right? I know they still exist. But it's just so crazy to me. Like, I really appreciate Battle's End. And the reason I appreciate that collective, they came in, they did work, and they never once asked for a dime of your money. So I can respect it. They both number one because they can't double coverage both of them. The playbook would be wide open. Um, I'm saying it now. We get Coleman and Key. It's playoff or bust. This team has too much talent at that point. I won't go that far, Louis. I'm reading a lot of comments, but we need to get up in this conversation eventually, right? Hill's supposed to be on campus this week. Um, since you seem to be somewhat of an NBA fan, then what do you say the Hawks need to do in order to take the next step in becoming the Hawks? Bro, I don't care what the Hawks have to do. Sure, no offense. I don't give a damn about the Atlanta Hawks. But I am a basketball head. And you know what the problem with the Hawks are, believe it or not? Might be an unpopular take here. Trey Young's the problem with the Hawks. You have a guy who thinks he's Curry, but he's way less efficient than Steph Curry. And I know he tends to show up in the playoffs. Shout out to Trey Young. He actually gets better in the playoffs, kind of like a Jimmy Butler. But if Trey Young's your best player, I don't see the Atlanta Hawks ever going far. Honestly, yeah, I think Trey Young's your problem. Not a big Trey Young guy myself. Not a big Trey Young guy. What up, Smith G? Uh, Pope, what up, bro? Finally able to catch a live show. Hey, we appreciate you. Appreciate you. I know we late, but I appreciate you coming on here late. Chad in the building. Is Key Kid Sean Key's son? I heard he is a legacy. I don't know exactly who it is, but I have heard that he's a legacy. Um, we and okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. I see Born Legacy in the building. Let's talk a little bit about that defense. Um, until that safety position gets resolved, I would even argue. I still say I would really entertain adding an edge if you can find one. I don't know if Florida State is a playoff team. If I'm being 100% honest, um, especially with the safety room looking the way it's looking. Look, what separates you know, your elite four, right? That's basically what the playoff is, right? The elite four. What separates your elite four from the rest of the pack? Usually, well, it's not just the starting five. I said starting five. See, y'all got me talking basketball. It's not just your starters. Um, it's what you got coming behind. It's the waves that you can bring behind the starters. FSU's starting group, in my opinion, matches up just about with anybody in the country, and I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that. Um, Starting wise, D line, linebackers, secondary, I believe it matches up just about with anybody in the country. The problem where we start talking playoff, the beautiful thing with Florida State is the schedule is not hard. I've been saying that from the jump. The schedule is basically the first month of the season. The first 4 weeks is going to determine Florida State season. Point blank, period. You got Clemson and LSU in the first 4 weeks. You go 4-0 the rest of the season, you might as well. You feel me? I think everybody feels that way. First 4 weeks, make sure you're going to know what Florida State is in the first 4 weeks. It's that simple. Um, but when we talk about the playoff, FSU has a chance to get exposed if they don't shore up some depth. I think offensively, you are as deep as you need to be. I think offensively, we have the depth. We all know what defense wins them championships. Ohio State was going up and down the field on Georgia, but when they needed stops, Georgia was able to get them. Now, whether that's because Marvin Harrison Jr. was hurt, we can debate that all day. At the end of the day, stops won championships. Defense wins rings. The back end of our defense is extremely suspect. It's extremely suspect. Key, I like. There's a reason why a lot of teams are interested in him. Not just a lot of teams, but a lot of good teams. Key, I like him. I saw pictures of him on campus today. Love his frame. You're talking about a kid that's already listed at six. What is Key listed at? 6'2", 200 pounds, something like that. Let me look at Jalen Key real quick. He's at least 6'2". He's at least 6'2". Yeah, 6'2", 200 pounds, and his front he's long arms, so he's that lengthy, rangy DB that we've been coveting. The same mold as your Kirklands, your Walls, your Quindarius Jones. That's what we've been recruiting. So he fits the mold. Love that. Go watch that LSU game with UAB playing LSU. The tape matches what you see. I don't know. I don't know if he can be a starter. Part of me thinks Key can come in and compete and push Akeem Dent or whatever. I don't know if they see him as a free or in the box type guy. I don't know necessarily what Florida State sees him as, but he can push either guy. So I love the addition of Key, but you need more than that. Even if you say you move in an AZ to the safety room, and maybe that happens. I think AZ, if you talk about one of the corners that we have that I think fits that mold of moving to safety and being successful, I would even argue that AZ might even be a natural safety, is Azariah Thomas. But I still say we need to bring about two more DBs in, corner and safety, to really start talking playoff. You feel me? Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm finna share this video on my Twitter page. There we go. So yeah, man, I love I want Key. Key is the key. Pun intended, right? Key is the key. Key is you have to get that. Coleman is like he's nothing but icing. Coleman is like we have a beautiful cake here. Offensively, it's a triple layer cake, moist, freshly baked. Like it's everything you need. And he's just a nice icing. I don't know what kind of icing y'all like, but he's a nice cream cheese icing on top. Is what Key is, but he is not a necessity, in my opinion. Even though I think he's a better option than Tron, and even though I say Tron looked good in the spring, but you got to take Tron's performance in the spring with a grain of salt because look who was covering him. I still think Tron's in for a good season, regardless. And you know how I feel about guys like Ja'Kai and Winston Wright. I think Florida State's gonna be fine. And we keep talking about receivers, and we forget that Jaheim Bell is nothing but a glorified receiver. Like he's listed as a tight end. He is nothing but a glorified receiver / running back / whatever you want to do with him. Offensively, bro, we are fine. Coleman is just icing on the cake to what is already a perfectly beautiful cake. But Key is Key. Do you think us picking up Bill from South Carolina was something Micah didn't see coming? I don't know. I don't know if Bell had anything to do with Micah. I mean, if it did, if you look, Taggart said it, and I know I don't quote Taggart much, but Taggart said it, and every coach lives by this philosophy. I think Norvell said it. All coaches say, my job, or their job, excuse me, is to recruit players that's better than you are It's just the nature of the beast. You can be as good as you are. My job is to bring in guys that are going to take your job. If the addition of a Jaheim Bell somehow shocked Micah, well, he's in the wrong business. Okay, just is what it is. Go Keon if you can. Give me key and then fill out the rest of the safeties. Leave maybe one spot for a DN. Absolutely. Hit that like button. That like button. Them young freshman safeties got to step up. That's all to it. But that's the problem, Ray. Um, I don't want to put. That's the problem. If we were in the rebuild stage still, if this was last year, then I'd say, yeah, play the safeties, get their feet wet, and they just got to step up. FSU put all they you didn't go get Jackson, Fisk, Edmond, Fentrell Cypress, Jaheim Bell. You didn't Casey Rodder, Jones, Byers. You didn't go get those individuals to continue to be rebuilding at certain positions. FSU put all the chips on the table this year, if you haven't noticed. They are trying to get there, whatever that means, whether that's ACC title or playoff, preferably both. That is the goal. You didn't sign all those guys and risk. I mean, if that was the case, you just wouldn't sign those guys and let DMAC still be on the team and have a. You know what I'm saying? You didn't bring in that guy that quality of depth on certain on those positions to depend on Conrad Hussey. And it's not a knock on Conrad Hussey. If he gets on campus and he's a baller and he's a dog as a freshman, then put him on the field. I don't want to. I don't want to have to rely on Conrad Hussey or Kirkland or Rawls or Quindarius Jones, regardless of how talented we think they may be, or Edwin Joseph. If they can come in and be a bonus, then absolutely, but they should not be relied on. They should be, and I said this Wednesday, they should be, if we're relying on Conrad Hussey, well, he should be in the Nate Andrews role, where he's playing alongside Jalen Ramsey and them boys. Like, that's the role. A guy who he's just able to pick his spots. I don't want to rely on the young freshmen, not on this team, because this team has aspirations of being something greater. Yeah, we recruited him, Raymond Taiwan Malone, but he's visiting Miami this weekend. I ever show y'all my engraved glass? I don't know if I ever showed y'all that. Y'all might can't see it because of the glare. Hold on, let me. I don't know if I ever showed y'all my glasses. I have a glass and I have a whole liquor bottle that's engraved. Hold on, let me see. Let me turn the light down. Maybe y'all can see it better. Yeah, got a whole engraving there. You probably can't even see what it says, but on the bottom it says Polk County Knoll, which is what this is what the channel used to be called. That's what the channel used to be called. My whole camera moved. Hold on. There we go. Irv. What up, Polk? Finally got a chance to catch you guys live. I had a time to break from the mate. I feel you, bro. I feel you. What's up, Irv, man? Glad to have you back. Keon is on campus. Safety room doesn't look good as far as experience depth, but I believe we can have a breakout freshman play and step up and play big. Amarion Cooper did as a freshman year. But, yes, he did. Amarion Cooper did. Look how long it took him, though. Amarion Cooper didn't break out until about, what, midway through that season? Del Lewis. I think on my first time seeing you in here, Del Lewis. Your name's new, unless you're somebody who changed your name. So shout out to Del Lewis. He says offense will be lethal. The secondary will tell whether we can compete for a natty or not. Compete for a national championship or not, in my opinion. Gotcha. And I don't disagree with you, bro. Don't disagree with you. By the way, welcome, Del Lewis. I've never seen that name before, so you're a new name around here. I'm gonna skip over some comments, y'all, but I'm reading them. Let me answer this one. If we get Keon, how do you feel? Who you feel a transfer out wide receiver? I don't. At this point, there's no guys. If you didn't transfer out in this last window, you no longer will qualify for this season. So I don't foresee any any outs. I don't foresee any outs. I agree with Panama right here. I agree with Panama. He says, I don't see why everyone is panicking because we lost Coop and Jay. He hasn't produced at safety. I agree with you. The problem is Panama. While I agree with the statement, as those boys haven't produced, except for Coop, but Coop produced as a DB, or excuse me, as a corner. And you recall, I never liked the move to safety. I was very firm on that. So Coop did produce as a DB his freshman year. I keep saying DB as a corner his freshman year. Jay, I said it before. Travis Jay's been at FSU 4 years. 2 of those years he's been academically ineligible. It's time for him to go find a fresh start. Um, so while I agree with you, the issue is the depth. Even though they don't produce, it would have been nice to have the bodies. Because if you look at that safety room right now, there's Akeem Dent, there's Shaheem Brown, and I dare you to name me two other safeties that's not a freshman. Because you can't. One's not on campus yet, and the other one has been playing more corner in the spring than he has been safety. Name me the safeties on the FSU's roster right now. That's the problem. Ray 50 says, "Pope, what you drinking? That Pink Whitney." I'm drinking. So this is some watermelon cranberry and some Crystal Head vodka. That's what I'm drinking right now. I will make a season record prediction, but I don't see the point of doing it in May. But when it's time, don't worry. I will definitely be dropping my predictions on the season. Do it every year. Jeff, you ain't got to apologize for not donating, man. You donate more than you need to. I just appreciate you for come in, hit the like button, bro. That's all you gotta do. I don't. Anything else you do is just, you know what I'm saying. Appreciate you. That man said, "How the hell is Jackson West still on the roster?" What's up, T? What you doing, man? What you doing up this late? If you want to hop on, T, let me know. Um, don't I start? Don't y'all start with the bull? Don't y'all start? And then VJ, do you think Deloach takes his game to? I do. Believe it. Deloach, and we say this every year, right? Take the spring with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean maybe as much as we want to think it means, but it also doesn't mean as little as some people might want to indicate, right? So there's somewhere in between the spring really matters. It doesn't mean as much as we want it to mean, but it also doesn't mean as little as some people would indicate, like, oh, spring means absolutely nothing. Well, it means a little bit. It means a little bit. But the way Deloach played, I think it's finally clicked there. Like, I think Kalen's going to be in for a year. I think he's going to be in for an all ACC type of year. I really do. I think Kalen is there, from coverage to reading or quarterbacks to just the instincts, and just no more. The game seems to have slowed to a point. I think the Loach is in for one. I think the Loach is in for one. I really do. I really do. What do we do if zero safeties in the portal? Hey, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to if we don't get a safety out of the portal, and they also are targeting a JUCO guy. If we don't get something out of the portal or JUCO, whatever, yeah, they're gonna have to move some guys to safety, obviously, and we're gonna depend on a bunch of freshmen there. Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What's the worst case scenario with the safeties? That you don't get guy out of the portal and that you have to move because it won't just be AZ. They're gonna have to move a couple guys because you're gonna need guys like you're going to need guys with some experience. Um, FSU, think about this, man. Last year's safety room consisted of Jamie Robinson, Akeem Dent, Shaheem Brown, Jaquez McClellan, Sidney Williams. That's already five safeties, and of course Sam McCall, who was also playing some corner. I always felt like Sam McCall was a natural safety, whatever. But even if you just take those five guys and don't include Sam, you've literally lost. Oh, maybe Travis J. I don't know, but he didn't play either, right? But look at the experience in that room. One guy's in the NFL. One guy graduated because he was a senior. That's Jarquez McKellen. Sidney Williams was like a 3-year player who's now at Missouri. Like a lot of experience in that safety room. And now zero outside of the two starters. You move AZ, okay, cool, but AZ hasn't played that position maybe since high school. Granted, he hasn't been out of high school that long, but still a different beast. What are you gonna do if he'll? I'm not gonna do anything but say, okay, let's get to work. I've been asked that question a couple of times because I've been one of the few people that's been so I won't say against it. I just don't believe it. Dustin Hill, this Dustin Hill thing might be the first time in college history that this happens, where a guy shows up 2 years later and like, do you understand how ridiculous this is? You do realize that we've never seen this before. I can't think of a time where a kid didn't sign his letter of intent and then showed up 2 years later and enrolled and played a full 4 years of it. Like, so with that said, I'm not going to do anything but say, okay, good, because as far as I'm concerned, if he does show up, he ain't playing. I've been pretty adamant on this. He ain't playing as a freshman. The man's been out of football for 2.5, 3 years, or whatever it's been. I don't expect anything from Dustin Hill year one, except to get in football shape. That's it. So I'm not gonna do anything but say, okay, cool. He doesn't affect the team. Panama says, here's the solution. Move Jarian or AZ to safety. Both have experience with Pat Sertain coaching them boys. Have faith we'll be okay. Well, Pat doesn't really coach the safeties. The safeties are an Adam Fuller thing. Um, I believe we could see a few receivers choose to sit for a year like Helton to save a year of eligibility. Name them because I don't. I really don't. Unless you think it's like a Deuce Span, but Deuce Span's got to sit a year regardless because he's already transferred. See, that's the issue with any of our receivers really sitting. Um, Deuce Span is the only guy that I would even foresee that happening, but he's already transferred, so he's sitting a year regardless. I don't think Jakai is going to sit to save year eligibility because I think they're going to need Jakai. Obviously, Winston Wright's not going to sit. He's already transferred. Malik McClain left. Darian might be the guy. I'm borderline surprised Darian's still on the team, just because availability is the best ability, and as great as Darian can potentially be, as this elite potential that he has, the guy can never be on the field. He didn't play on the spring, missed games last year due to injury. I think when they recruited him, if I'm not mistaken, he had tore his knee up in high school. So we may never see what Darian Williams could be. No, there's no reason to move Ronaldo. Keep Ronaldo at corner. What's up, Briley? Send the link. All right, I got you, bro. Hold on. Give me a minute, T. Mm-mm-mm. There you go, T. It's in the chat. He'll gonna be 30. Right, right. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's who I want. Again, Coleman. I know you just got here, Bradley. You might have missed the beginning. Coleman is nothing but icing on the cake. Coleman is icing. Coleman is icing on said cake. Key is key. Key is key. We need that. We need that depth. I'm surprised Burrell's still on the team too. My bad, Polk. I didn't know Adam Fuller was coaching safeties. I thought Pat was coaching secondary. Period. He's Adam Fuller's still safety coach, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Sertain does a little bit of all of it, right? But Fuller is still like specifically a safety slash D coordinator, obviously. Larry Shannon, co-D coordinator slash linebacker coach. Marcus says, hold on. Let's be real. Hill got a 2-year deal. I don't know what he got. He ain't gonna accomplish nothing in years though. How you come on here and the baby crying in the background? She cutting up. I can hear you.
Okay. It's funny. I hear you clicking real clear, but whenever you say when you said something, I couldn't hear you.
Can you? What about now?
Yeah.
So you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not you. It's my headphone.
All right. I'll let Terrence get his headphones together, and then you say what? All right. We'll bring you back when we'll bring T back when he get his stuff together. Plus, he got the baby acting up in the background. Scary, also a good thing. It lets you know that you're getting a quality player. Like it lets you know that if they're interested in this guy, you're not just getting some. You're not just pulling a random player from UAB. You're pulling a guy that people are very interested in, right? How many more seasons do you think Odell has left? Until Odell doesn't want to coach no more. So if we get that safety key, you get Coleman. Our team fairly dangerous, not only in the. I think so. I think so. Now we still got to. We still need some depth. Key is not the last piece. I think Coleman is the last piece to the puzzle on offense. If they're and I can make an argument that the offensive puzzle is already complete. But Coleman, again, he is just nothing but icing on said cake. I wholeheartedly believe that. Defensively, still need some. We need Key and another safety. And again, I would still add an edge guy if you can find the right one. That's just me though. So I would probably, if it was up to me, I would get Key and add maybe another 3 defensive players if you can. And definitely at least another 2 on defense, another DB, and then another guy on the edge. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Mark. You're saying basically if he don't produce in 2 years, he's gone anyway. I get you. I get you. I hope we get both. I feel good though. Like if you ask me, I feel pretty good about both guys. I don't. Oh, okay. I think Terrence back. Hold on. But I feel pretty good about both guys. Hold on, Terrence. My bad. Okay. Okay. You sound good on my end. I don't know
Yeah,
how
we
I sound.
good,
Okay. Should have had them headphones from the beginning.
bro. I did. Just yeah. Yeah, we getting both of them boys, man.
You think we get both?
It would be. I would like that. I mean, Key is the more important one.
I didn't know Key was a legacy kid.
Really?
Yeah, apparently his dad played here.
Okay. Hey,
Or his granddad. One of the two.
either way, come on.
Uh, who do you think will do the best of the transfers that came to FSU, and who will be the best transfer? I'll let Terrence answer that. I want to hear Terrence's opinion
Best that came, man.
out of the transfer guys that we got so far. You need me to go down the list of transfer guys we got just in case.
Yeah, you might have to do that because I mean I know the names of some of. It's just like
No, you good. I got you. I know how it be.
it's
You
it's
you
like
can't remember
because
everything.
off the top of my head, I want to say one guy in particular because he's gonna be in. He probably gonna start, and that's Fisk.
Well, Fisk is my guy,
Yeah,
but
I feel like he might be it, but
so this is all Florida State's that. Hold on. Okay, this is all the guys that Florida State has brought in: Fentrell Cypress, Jaheim Bell, Braden Fisk, Kyle Morlock, Jeremiah Byers, Gilbert Edmond, Daryl Jackson, Casey Roddick, Keandre Jones. Am I missing somebody? I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I just named them all. I think that's it.
on defense is Fisk. I mean, and that's not this. I don't feel like that's a slight to Cypress, who's probably gonna end up starting too. But I feel like what like him that we I feel like we've been missing that him somebody like him in our rotation like to be able to like assert themselves in the middle the way that we kind of relied on old boy. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna stick with him. I think Bell has a shot on offense to be the guy, but the other part about that is the big boy, what's 6'7" dude? Is that Murlock or
Morlock, yeah, Morlock.
Morlock? That's a weapon we don't have outside of like Johnny Wilson. So there's opportunities for everybody. It just kind of depends on how the offense breaks down, like and where we end up. Like if we open it up, is what it comes down to. Are we gonna run it? Are we gonna stick with being a run first, like we're gonna run it down your throats all day type team, or are we gonna kind of open up the passing game and give somebody like Bell a shot to really be effective? But if it's running the ball, we more likely to see Morlock on the field.
How many how many touches does Bell need a game?
I
Because
want to
I was
see
thinking about this the other day. Just
six,
I was you say six
five, six on the high end.
on the high end. I feel like six is the low end for me.
I mean, bro, you gotta get other people the ball. Like, I mean, how many touches you want Johnny Wilson to have? You want Trey Benson to get 20. You got other guy. You got
I don't think Trey's gonna get 20 though.
he's gonna get 20 touches a game.
FSU's running backs don't really get 20 touches a game.
He's been getting close to that. Like, and I think he's gonna get an increase in touches this year.
I think Bell needs to get about. You say six. I'm like from 8 to 10. He needs to get 8 to 10
That's
touches.
a lot of touches. Like,
Whether that's
what are we doing here? How
screen
we getting him the
game.
ball? Like, is
I
he
just
getting runs too? Like, we running him out the backfield?
I think that sweet play that they like to do with Micah. I think that's all Jaheim Bell. So you can at least get that once or twice a game.
Okay.
A couple quick screens to Bell. That's another 2-3 passes. So now we already at 5. Then a couple of design pass, like normal pass. Like I don't know, 7, 8. I think 7, 8, man. At least target him 7, 8
That's a
times.
lot. So how many targets you want for Johnny then? Like how
I
many
don't
targets you
know.
want for it? Like you know what I mean? It's just a lot of touches.
I know. One football and there's a lot of weapons. There's one
And
football and there's a
it's
lot
not
of
a bad
weapons.
problem to have, but I mean, coming in, there are guys who already have that a rapport with Jordan. It's gonna be pretty tough. Cause I mean, are we not gonna see Douglas on the field at all?
Marcus and Douglas, I expect them to.
I mean, and I know Bell's not a tight end, but he's like
Right. No.
you got that room is, I won't say it's crowded, but at the top, those three guys, they're gonna want they came here for a reason. Morlock and Bell came here for a reason. I get it. Morlock came here for a reason too. Douglas didn't leave for a reason.
What do you think about this? I didn't see these comments from D Mac, but he says D Mac basically was throwing shade on how we left guys use us to get to the league and how we expect to win anything with portal kids and we can't recruit, etc. He was talking saucy. I don't know his exact comments. Um,
So me personally, um, hot pot, hot kettle, whichever one you want to be. You
mhm.
leaving? Where'd you just go? You went somewhere where you thought you was gonna get some shine, and it's gonna be the camera's gonna be on you, so you can get
he,
to the league, bro.
he
Like
he he went somewhere where he's going to start by default.
exactly. So, all right, now I
My issue
I
with what
think
my issue with what D Mac is saying is if you were the player you thought you were, they wouldn't go to the portal and get Gilbert Edmond. They wouldn't go to the portal and get Jared Verse. I'm sorry.
and you got beat out by Peyton. You got
And
beat out
you
by Pat.
and you got beat out by Pat.
So what you expect? What you want the spot opposite of Pat? Like
So
what did
you
you do to
don't
prove you deserve that?
you don't want the staff to upgrade the position at all. You just want them to throw out Derek McClendon in his 3 sacks a year or whatever. Like seriously, bro. Like what are we talking about?
Now, from a standpoint of the players and the guys that are transferring out, I know everybody like gets on people about transferring out. When you got guys coming in that are transfers, it's like, dang, are you guys gonna are they dedicated to developing me, or the first time they see some downside or something that they don't think I'm going to reach my best potential, they go out and look for something else. It's tough to be that player, and maybe that's why he's talking the way he is. As they said, he's talking saucy and got all his problems, but it's tough to be that player when you seeing all these. We just brought in 3 transfer DNs.
But VJ brings up another great point. It's not like D-Mac didn't have opportunity. It's not like they stuffed him on the bench. He was the starter opposite of Verse for a majority of the season.
Yep.
It's
Even
not
when
our,
me and you both were saying, bro, why is Pat not starting? Like we
it's
wanted
not our
Pat,
fault you didn't produce, big dog.
and then it's not like you wasn't seeing 1v1s, bro. You seeing one, you ain't getting double.
I don't understand D-Mac's right. You're not as good as you think you are, bro. It's just really that simple.
You are not him.
It's just that simple. You're not Jared Verse. You're not
You're not
Jermaine.
Patrick Payton.
You're not Pat. You're none of those guys. Sorry.
Oh, real quick off topic. Do you think Pat jumps into that realm of, hey, I could be a first round edge
He's
rusher?
got all the physical traits. 6'5", twitchy, long arm. Like he's got all of that. Obviously, you got to put it on tape. Got to continue to fill out his body. But
Because
he
was
has
his junior year.
no. He's a redshirt sophomore. He was a redshirt freshman last year. He's a sophomore.
Man,
Yes.
well, he I don't think he would go pro after this season. I mean, he'd have
Unless
to go. He'd have to be insane.
he'd have to break out for like double digit sacks.
And then
Or 8 or 9. Like he'd have to really be.
and we'd have to be in the national spotlight too.
Yeah.
8 or 9, if we in the national spotlight playing in the
I
playoff.
agree. If Pat's getting 8 or 9, versus probably in the double digits, and we're probably have the best D line in the country. And if that's the case, then yeah. If that's the case, then Pat
That's
should go. Pat should go if that's the case. But he's got work to do on his game. He's still a young
yeah.
player.
Now, just to get back to what we were asked, that question we were asked about the who's gonna have the best season that went out,
So that left the program,
that left,
it's
it's
gonna be
Ward.
Trayshawn Ward. Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
Trayshawn
Ward.
Ward. Bar none,
Yeah,
it's gonna be Trayshawn Ward.
yeah. That was the easy one. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna be. I'm gonna be surprised to see him in the top 10 in rushing yards in the
I don't
nation.
know. I don't know about that, but
I
he's
wouldn't be
going.
surprised.
But he's going to have. They lost. Kansas State lost your boy Vaughn, right? Didn't he go to
Yeah,
NFL?
I'm pretty sure he went.
So he's
He's gonna be the number one back
yeah,
there,
he's gonna be
and they
number one
gonna
back.
run the hell out of the ball.
He's gonna be number one back. So it's gonna be Trayshawn Ward. By far.
He's gonna get 25 touches a game, like
Yeah,
so
Trayshawn
he's
Ward.
gonna have the opportunity to do it. But that's outside of him. Like on defense, maybe you go and look at. I look at a guy like Gant.
Keep the questions coming. Gant. My problem with Gant is what are they gonna ask him to do? If they're asking him to be
Yeah,
if they're asking him to be a full-time backer at Colorado, I don't see it, bro.
yeah, we talked about that. Like I don't know what his role is exactly.
I
I
don't see
like
it.
him though. I
I
like
do
him
like.
as a
I've
player.
always liked Gant. I've always liked
And
Gant. But if you're asking him to be a full 3-4 down backer at 190 pounds, former safety, I don't see it.
he's still at 190. Damn.
You know how it is.
I thought he added a few pounds, man.
They list him at 200 even or whatever, 210. But come on,
I thought maybe he had got up to 210. You know,
come on.
maybe that's what he needs to do. Get
Gant,
up to 210, 215.
Gant is full time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Who?
know.
So I see that Bama, Ohio State, and a couple other big names in on key.
It's a Bama, Ohio State, Oregon, Ole Miss, and us.
mm.
A
I mean,
lot
I
of-
like to win that. I like to win that.
There's some good teams interested in the brother. So
And Bama lost some safeties.
go
Didn't they lose a
go
couple
watch
safeties? They starters.
go watch his tape if you haven't versus LSU. He had like 12 tackles that game or something like that. He played, and that's at UAB. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So he's probably like the only real player on that defense. You feel me? And
but he a tally kid though, right?
yeah, he's from Tallahassee native. Yeah. So
That's our best shot.
again, at best a nickel backer. What's up, Dan Squatch? How you doing tonight? Let's see.
He'll left Earth for 2 years. That is funny.
Alabama lost a corner to Colorado. Did you see the Did you see when I was talking about Dion? I think you did. I think you saw when I was talking about Dion. And I
Was
just
I?
asked,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
asked. I was just asking questions, and people really got like offended. What is the deal with Dion? Like, why is it people get offended?
I mean, I think it's like it's one of those things where anytime, like people feel this way. I'm not saying that's the case, but people feel anytime a black man, and this is what it comes down to, a black man is loud, proud, and doing things different. Why like that? Somebody's always out there like, oh, you're not supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to do this way. What? People get defensive of when that type of person gets questioned. You get what I'm saying? Like,
No, it's not that I don't get what you're saying. I just don't know if that. I just don't know if that relates to Dion.
how so?
I get a little aggravated when I hear Dion's a black coach, so I'm gonna support him. Because no, you're supporting Dion because you are a fanboy. And if you're a fanboy of Dion, that's okay. Look, I'm a fanboy of the guy that's on my back wall right here. And I'll fully admit it. Everybody's got their favorites. If you're a fanboy of Dion, okay, cool. But don't pretend like you care about the black coach in America when You can't even name the black. Who's the head coach of Howard? You can't name them, so don't pretend like you care about all the black coaches in America. Stop the cap. Um, let's
Damn.
stop pretending like it's a black thing with Dion. You just like Dion, and that's fine. But you gotta admit, what he's doing right now is a big question mark. I don't know if it's gonna work.
I mean, the other side to that is, and Jerry brought this up the other day, and I was kind of just like, I don't know if you remember his post about Tulane,
Mhm.
and I feel like there's things that
Tulane
factor
wasn't the
into it.
greatest example just because
I
he
was just
wasn't a
like,
first time head coach.
yeah,
But there is examples like Duke and Mark Elko and Sonny Dykes at TCU. That was his first. You don't realize that was his first year at TCU, and he took him to the Natty.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they had, I think, they had won 4 games the year prior.
Hey, are you going to Orlando, bro?
I am. I really want to. I think our tickets on sale.
Yeah, I think they might be now.
We
Cause
might.
I'm trying to get out there too. But I know I'm supposed to go in November. I'm supposed to be in Orlando in November, so I don't know. It depends on my wife. If I don't go there, I was thinking about going to TCU versus Colorado,
That might be fun. That's in.
Fort
That's that.
Worth.
That's for 4.
But I really want to be in Orlando, obviously.
I might go to Orlando even just to go to the tailgates. I ain't even got to go in the stadium to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
you can have a ball sitting on the outside,
You
man.
feel me? I ain't even got to go in the stadium. To be
I'm
honest with
tripping.
you,
I was all the way at the bottom.
I might make that Orlando trip regardless of if I get tickets to the game or not, just to go.
Hey, so I get that people have that issue of Prime, like, and oh, he's a narcissist and all that. Dude, he's been that from way before. Like, so I mean, if you got a problem with that, you
The
had a
problem,
problem with Prime the player. Like,
the
it is
problem
what
with
it is.
Dion right now is that there's two loud groups. There's I hate Dion and I absolutely love Dion, and those two groups are the loudest. There's people that hate Dion because they've always hated him. There's people that love Dion because they've always loved him. And what happens is they drown out the people that are just trying to be objective into what he's actually doing. I don't dislike Dion. I've not been a fan of every move he's made. I love what he did for Jackson, Mississippi. I was pretty adamant that I hated what he. I didn't. I won't say hate. Hate's a strong word. I thought the job was incomplete. I always knew he would leave Jackson. I wanted to see him get that first recruiting class out the door. If Deion Sanders is gonna make the comments of, oh, HBCU players ain't getting drafted, why didn't you make sure that first recruiting class? Why didn't Shadur Sanders get drafted from Jackson State? Why didn't Travis Hunter get drafted from Jackson? I wanted to see that. Now that's might
Couple
be
of
my
first round guys,
that
possible.
I wanted to see that. If you care that much, I want to see that.
So
I,
here's the other side to that,
so
though.
for me, Jackson State was an incomplete job, in my opinion. I love the move to Colorado. Let me finish, and I'll let you get.
Yeah,
I love the move to Colorado. Loved it. You heard me and Jurgen. We talked about it. Loved the move to Colorado. Didn't know he was gonna kick out 54 players in the portal, bro. You don't build a football team from now to August like that. Good luck. So people think you hate him, but I'm just being objective. But go ahead.
I mean, my only thing is about the Jackson State job and him leaving Jackson State. They 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 didn't hold up their end of that bargain, man. Like
I
you can't go in and I'm not gonna stay and try and do something. Okay, he owed it to the kids. The school wasn't giving him the opportunity to follow through on those things that he wanted to do, and he was bringing in the money. The money was coming in. He said it. He said it out loud.
I want to
These stadiums getting sold out,
I want
but
to
we're not
answer
getting the
Brian
money
King's
from it.
question, but I want you to finish.
Like we selling out these stadiums, but where the money going? How we don't have enough money, but like to cover all the tickets that was bought.
No, I
Like
understand that. I understand that.
why we I'm getting people to donate for these facilities and money going missing. This is something that happens at HBCUs, which was crazy, and it's not a surprise to me. So why? So once he tried, he had an obligation now just to save the like. All right, I'm gonna finish this through for the players, or should I? You know what? They not for me. They not to help me figure this out. So let me figure out my son.
I understand
And
that.
and that's a problem sometimes within our community where at the end of the day we sit there and like, all right, I'm gonna try and do this, and you get put in a position you're like, you know what? Let me take care of me and mine, because obviously I
Yeah,
can't save the world. I'm gonna just save me and mine,
I
And I
I
think that's where it
I
ended up
agree.
at.
I agree. You can't save everybody, especially if um, you
And
weren't getting the cooperation from the program or the institution that you needed. It's not that I don't agree with that. It's just you talked it. Dion came into to Jackson State with the basically he was like spouting FUBU for us by us. It was FUBU all over. Like this is for us by us. And then it's like even there was a FAMU player. I forget his name. He was one of the like top guys in the portal. Edge rusher. You might remember his name. I forget him.
I think I know. I can't remember his
And
name.
and Dion tweeted at him directly and told him, "Don't go to the D1. Stay in the HBCUs. We need you." And then you leave. Like it's that thing for me. Like it's hard, it's one of those things where don't do what I say or don't do what I do, do as I say. It's kind of like, okay, cool. So for me, it's like I just want to see the job complete. I do get that everything behind the scenes wasn't perfect, but it's just like Ed Reed going to Bethune. You crying about shit that you already knew. So why are you crying about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't take the job if that's the case. Either be a part of the solution or don't even touch it. But don't get to the job and then bitch about it. Because newsflash, Dion went to Jackson and was talking about I think it was his daughter that was like there was a shooting around Jackson, Mississippi. But there was like a shooting 2 weeks ago in Colorado. It didn't make headlines though. So we can play the game of Jackson, Mississippi has bad area. Boulder, Colorado ain't perfect either. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I understand, and I think that's just I mean, as far as like that whole shooting in Jackson and then the one in Colorado, you're not gonna hear about that. It's just not the way that the world works. And there's a lot of things that ain't on Dion to change that. I think he put a lot of the stress and all that on himself to answer Mayan King. I think some of that was all it was what he created for himself. He
That's what I'm
created that
saying.
storm,
You
and
talk the talk,
yeah,
then of course, okay, Dion's gonna save HBCUs. When it's for us by us, when it's no, we don't need them. We gonna do it here, and after 2 years you dip. Well, that voice rings hollow.
did he lay a blueprint though? Can somebody come and follow
No,
that same blueprint?
no,
Nobody can do it again.
because
Nah.
he's no one's Dion. I hate when Stephen A. Smith and these people say he laid the blueprint. Bullshit. None of them are Dion.
So
Eddie George isn't Dion. Even Ed
he
Reed at Bethune wasn't Dion. It wasn't gonna be the same, and it's not gonna be the same. He didn't lay a blueprint
say a guy like T.O. tried to do
because
it.
no one's prime time Deion Sanders. Even Terrell Owen. No one is prime time. No one. There's no blueprint. It would have to be
Tom Brady
Shaquille O'Neal would have to be a HBCU coach for it to be like something similar, bro.
on basketball. That makes
Like
sense.
just you know what I'm saying? Just something like that. Like you talk about a famous star. Deion Sanders has transcended football.
Like LeBron James come back and
It
after
had
he
to be
retired,
something like
coach
that.
basketball
It had to
somewhere.
be something like that.
I hear you.
There's no blueprint to follow because no one's him.
I hear you.
As great as Ed Reed was, he's not him personality wise. Dion drops great one liners. He's a great interview.
That's what did it.
He's charismatic. He's all of that. Ed Reed ain't none of that. None of that.
Very hood as fuck.
None of that. Eddie George ain't none of that. I mean, come on, man.
I'm just, I was just kind of trying to throw guys out there that maybe could be an answer. Like, but I feel you. But outside of that, I mean,
I don't want to waste too much time on the Dion thing. I just
yeah,
wanted your
we don't need to.
thoughts. Want your thoughts on it.
It was I tuned in for a little bit on that show, so I kind of was just like I'm gonna stay out. We had this conversation kind of in private sometimes, and I say some things jokingly, but I get how people feel about the turnover of the roster. It's different, and it
It's
doesn't look like
different.
something that can be successful. But
Different is
I
a word.
mean, people do things different ways sometimes, and they try to find success the best way they think they know. And I'm not a head coach of Colorado.
His formula, in my opinion, would have more stable legs if all of this turnover took place before spring, because you get that spring to implement it. Bro, they're going to enter fall camp with a lot of these kids' first time ever seeing the field with each other. I don't know how you get ready to play a football game in a month. You're going to enter August with a brand new roster from what you had in March and expect them to be ready to play football by September. If he can do it, he can do it. I just don't know. Chad Johnson would be a good one, more legacy. I can see Chad Johnson because he has that charisma. He has that, right?
He got them one-liners too.
Um,
They was talking about Chad and T.O. going to fam.
T.O. isn't as problem with. I don't think the media like T.O., so I don't think that
They
works.
don't. And it's crazy that
I don't think that
he's
works.
freaking gold, bruh. Like
Yeah,
media-wise, he's gold, but
I don't think that works. They don't
yeah,
like
they
the
don't
media.
like him
Don't the
enough.
media don't like him? So the media loves Dion. Dion, the only coach I can know who can get on the camera and say, "Yeah, I only want kids whose parents on food stamps," and everybody key and laugh about it, and it's no big deal. And even black people like, "Oh yeah, that's just Dion." I'm like, "What the fuck are we talking
Like,
about?"
what did you say, nigga? What did you just say?
But Dion can get away with that because he's Deion Sanders and the media loves him.
Let Nick Saban say some shit like that.
Not even Nick Saban, like just even another black coach. I think a lot of the black people would have been like, "What are you talking about?" But Dion can say it.
Yeah, key.
Let me go ahead and hold it down for a second. I gotta go refill my cup.
Yeah, I'm about to do that after you come back. Then, um, could Ray Lewis do it? I think, as far as Ray Lewis, I don't think Ray Lewis would be a good coach in that sense. To be honest with you, um, he has the knowledge and all that, but there's the that he got some things in his closet. I don't think people will bring him in. I don't think that will work out too well for him. Uh, the fuck? Who's the new DBU? The Ville. What the fuck? Fuck out of here. Yeah, I seen in the NCAA game pop up a couple times, man. I think that's gonna be nice with the transfer portal. But if you recall, there were transfers before. It was just difficult to recruit them, man. And some of the guys that had like 3 years left on NCAA, I missed that. I forget what year that was, but they had it where you could bring in transfers from different schools. They weren't like top tier guys, but you can bring in transfers. I used to bring in some guys with speed just to do it, but they would end up having to sit out a year, and you would have to use a red shirt on them or whatever. So, let's see. Um, it's interesting. They brought up Ray Lewis. Oh, he put in his headphone. They brought up Ray Lewis, bro. I just don't see that as a feasible one, bro. As a coach at all, to be honest.
Just because you can talk good and preach, don't mean you.
I don't see him as a good coach overall. Is it gonna let? We was talking about NCAA and how the transfer portal is gonna work out, man. That would be interesting, man.
What do you mean?
The game,
Like the game? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. How do you even implement that in the
Dude,
game?
that's gonna be
Except,
that would be wild.
except be like Madden free agency. Like that's the only way I see it even feasibly working. That's essentially what it is. Guys hit the portal and you just make an offer for him in free agency and see if you get him.
Cause that'd be wild. I mean, it'd be, guys don't get the playing time you promised them, or if they, if you're not winning,
So like the NCAA
and then
14 has players transfer, right?
yeah,
But
they had transfers.
but you can't dictate who transfer. Like you can't pick the people that transfer to you. So when
Yeah,
you like,
you can decline them though.
no, you can decline. But what I'm saying is you can't pick who. Like you just simulate, and then it pops up on your screen like these players want to transfer to your program, and then you can decline them or you can accept them. But
Yeah.
I can't go
You
and
can't
say
recruit them.
right. I can't go and say, oh, I want this guy from Bama, or I want, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know how they implement that.
Well, I mean, the other side to that is technically we're not actually reaching out to these guys in real life
Let's
to
stop it.
bring to. I'm just saying, man.
Okay, we can stop pretending that. Let's stop
But
pretending.
for the game's purposes,
Let's stop
you
pretending.
have to trigger for the. I'm talking about the game, bro. For the video game, you would have to say, okay, if these guys didn't get what they wanted, then if they didn't get what they wanted, broken promises, not playing time, you're not winning enough games, their draft stock isn't where it needs to be. Okay, then boom, I'm gonna hit the portal, and now you can recruit these guys that hit the portal. That'd be wild. You lose your 5-star freshman you created to the transfer portal.
It's gonna happen.
Hey, you'll be heated. Y'all go 7-5. He's like, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere.
It's gonna happen.
That's wild. Oh, you can't do NILs. Jesus Christ! They can't put that in the game.
I don't know how you do.
It's impossible. Now, what they might do is they might put it in the freshman, in that what's it, the Heisman thing?
Oh, that's the Road to Glory mode.
Road to Glory, yeah.
They might even bring that mode back.
In there.
I mean, you got
to. It was a good mode, man.
It's a solid mode. I wonder if we're reaching out to Marvin Jones Jr. I think we should kind of let that go. That's not going to happen this year.
Never.
Yeah, we should probably let that go.
Not this year.
Definitely not this year. This year's past. If he was to hit the portal now, he would not be eligible for next year. So that's not going to happen.
Which is sad. That's what I was saying. That was the saddest part of the portal season is for me. Him not hitting the portal. Just get out there and see what they say.
Hey. If Bear Alexander hit the portal, I don't know why he can't. But
jeez.
Good luck to him.
Where did Bear know?
USC.
He got paid.
He did.
That's a get. That's a huge get for them. I like that. They might. I don't know. They might be able to do something out there, man.
USC? No, yeah. USC should be in the mix.
And I'm talking about putting him in the middle of that though.
Because they also got him, and then they got the D lineman that transferred from Texas A&M. I forget his name, but he was like one of the top defensive linemen in his class. So they got some guys. USC should be in the mix for sure.
Wait, 50 and Shaq buying BET?
I guess so. That's what Born Legacy say.
Sounds good. Are they like really buying it from Viacom or?
I feel like BT's switched owners like a gazillion times in my lifetime.
Like 7.
Like, what does it matter at this point?
What are they gonna do?
Right. What are they gonna do?
They gonna still show Baby Boy 20 times? Like,
I don't even remember last time. I didn't even watch.
Do they show music on BET anymore?
That was the last time I was watching BET. I was a kid, and it was when 106 in Park and all that was the thing. I don't know what they show on that show. Was it raining in Dallas?
It was posted. It might be right now. It's supposed to pour down.
It's pouring down here.
It was supposed to. I think the NIL is they gonna sell Kazam.
They're gonna Kazam and Get Rich or Die Trying. That's gonna be the movies they show all the time now. This is NIL though. NFL contracts are public info. We don't know what some of these college kids are making. Obviously, I don't think the college kids know what they're making.
You know what I like best about NILs right now? Them girls is getting paid in NCAA women's basketball.
That is good to see. That it's not just a football.
That's big, and I think that's what it's on. That's where it can really start to show up and support.
It's not gonna if you're going where I think you're going. It's not gonna help the WNBA.
No, hell no.
Because people actually have to watch the product for it to help the WNBA.
But guess what? If you start watching that product in college, you're gonna want to follow some of your favorite players. You're gonna see them on TV a little bit more, and you're gonna be like, "Well, let me turn on this game and watch." I mean, I follow guys from college that play in the NFL. I watch certain games. I watch the Chargers to watch Florida State guys play.
No, I
don't watch it. I hate the fucking Chargers, but I watch it because I want to see Derwin and Asante.
I agree with that. The problem is, even if you're watching a random Chargers game because you want to see Derwin and the boys, it's still an NFL quality product. Women's basketball is boring, bro. Unless you are a basketball purist.
Even then.
And even then.
This whole idea of lowering the rim, by the way, and them being able to dunk because of that, now you mess up the shooting up. Like, dude, have you ever done that? Played on the lower rim and tried to shoot? Like, that's insane. Shoot on a 9-foot rim?
I don't even think, the thing is, Barley, I don't even think that helps because it's not just that they can't dunk. It's the variety of dunks.
They not, like cocking it back and
you know what I'm saying? They not Andrew Wiggins on Luka. Like they not
yamming on people, bro.
Right.
Ain't nobody put a yam on somebody, bro. That. It's not happening.
And so even if you lower the rim, what you gonna get? That's what you gonna get, one of these, like what Brittany Griner does now. Like
when she jump over phone books.
Yeah, like you're not finna
Brittany Griner doesn't jump very high, bro. To be clear, I'm 6'3" and 6'3", 6'4", and when I reach up, I can grab a net. So, like, it's not. She's 6'7".
I think she's 6'7", 6'8". I know she wanted it to. Yeah.
6'8". Like, it's not.
And she's just doing this. Yeah, she's just doing that. Like it's like, bro, you're not.
She's jumping over a Alaska phone book.
Until
if you think about Alaska, not a lot of people live in Alaska. So that's what she's jumping over, bro. She's not.
Until a woman can take 2 dribbles, gather, and hit from the free throw line, and bam, nobody's gonna care. Like that dunking thing don't matter, bro. It's just
at all.
Don't matter.
It's cool. It's a novelty. I even I prefer when people like Candace Parker dunked and over Brittany Griner's.
I remember when Lisa Leslie first did it. It was like a big thing.
It was like shit no. But she wasn't even the first person to dunk. Didn't Cheryl Miller didn't dunk?
I don't think Cheryl Miller.
Now she was a hooper though.
Cheryl Miller is a hooper for real.
Her, Cynthia Cooper. Cynthia Cooper had me watching women's basketball back in the day when Houston, the Comets was balling.
Mm-hmm.
They had Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, I'm sorry, and Cheryl Swoops. Them girls dominating.
No, I'm with you. Like, I respect it. It's just not fun to watch. I can't give you a formula to improve women's basketball, to be honest with you.
Why do you think a pro softball league would do well?
I think it would be more. I honestly kind of agree with Marcus. I feel like that'd be more exciting than in WNBA because at least in pro softball, like, like you get if you like softball or baseball, I think that would be more entertaining than. The problem with the WNBA is a vastly different product than the NBA. I don't think softball is a vastly different product than baseball per se. Especially women's. I think I've watched women's softball. I think it's fairly entertaining. Maybe just because I like that they all thick, but I think it's fairly entertaining.
Ain't no women's volleyball league.
Softball girls. Softball girls be stallions, bro. They be built.
but it's a lot of things that they can do with that. But
But
the
no,
WNBA is gonna struggle
like
for a while, unfortunately.
I put on call. I put on Twitter. I think playoff basketball is better than playoff football. Personally, I get real excited watching playoff
I
basketball.
think I agree with that.
Some people don't agree, obviously, but um, playoff basketball is electric. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Antoine. They be thick, bro. I'm trying to tell
I
y'all.
can't lie. Yeah, they be.
them,
I can't say
soft,
that too loud right now.
them, them softball girls be thick, bro.
Cheryl Miller's the best. Female will never play in the NBA, bro.
Can't. Just
The fastest, quickest
can't.
guards. First off, it would have to. She'd have to be. She's gonna play guard.
Sharon Miller is arguably the greatest women's basketball player of all time.
I'll take
Right?
Cynthia Cooper,
Okay. Whoever you take.
but she's definitely, arguably, yeah.
Sharon Miller's
Yeah,
probably is Sharon Miller better than her brother?
no,
So Reggie Miller is not even the top what? What is Reggie Miller?
he's in the top 50, maybe.
Did he make the top 70? He didn't make the
Yeah,
original.
he's in the top. He's in the top 75.
He wasn't in the original top 50 though.
No, I don't think he made it.
He didn't make it in the original top 50. I know that. So he might have made this top 75. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he was. He was named in the top 50.
No, he was?
Yeah,
Hell no. Where?
I'm trying to see.
I can name
49th.
Okay. Okay. I can name
Well, maybe was he?
I don't know, bro. We're talking two guards. Give me Wade.
Oh yeah, I got like five. I got 5 2 guards. I'll take before him.
I'll take Ray Allen before Reggie.
I'm taking Clyde Drexler. I'm taking
that's what I'm saying.
that list is long. He might not. He might at this point. He might not be top 10. What's up?
I just about to say I don't know if he a top 10 two guard of all time. If I'm being honest. And that's not me knocking Reggie. I got no issues with Reggie. I'm just saying, like,
honestly, if I had to put make my top 50, I don't know if he makes it. My top 50. I don't know.
What's going on?
Because now we talking about guys that are here now.
I got 10. I think I got 10. I think I got 10 two guards too before I take Reggie. To be honest with you,
it's close.
Bro, we talking about a little bit of everything tonight, bro. We didn't talk about.
Man.
We were just on WNBA, Dion. Hey.
But basically, that we said all that to say, yeah, women are not going to play in the NBA, bro.
We talking about everything tonight.
And if they did, it would be a novelty where they on the end of the bench, and yeah, because they're not going to be fast enough. They're not going to be strong enough to deal with the physicality of the game. It's a completely different game. And I'm not going to sit here and say outrageous things like, oh, I could beat women in the WNBA, but dude, it's tough. Like the same way we look at track and field, like there are women out there running 10.9s, and that's a big deal in 100 meters. Running 10.8, 10.9 in 100 meters is you winning a race, first of all. But it's high school kids running 10.1s on bad days.
Yeah, it's just
like that's a significant difference in the speed and strength of high level athletes.
At the end of the day, bro, biology is a real thing, bro. Like no matter how I know we want to talk about equality, biology is a real thing. The men at their highest level and the women at their highest level, there's level. They just don't. You'll never see a woman fighting a man in boxing. I hope, because that'd be a destruction of epic proportions. You'll never see women UFC fighters fighting male, because that'd be. You're just not gonna see none of this stuff.
Like when that dude fought them women, bro. Like it's
the trans dude,
right, bro.
It's not right. It should never happen.
That's not right.
It should never happen.
Who made that joke? Was it LeBron or somebody? Not who made the joke about LeBron deciding he was a woman? And
that's real.
Like he dropped 200 a game. He do whatever he wanted to.
If Bron had a sex change and went to the WNBA, like you said, he'd average 100 points a game.
Imagine Dwight Howard says, "Oh, I'm a woman now." He could extend his career 20 years. He could play until he was 60.
Like, bro,
in the WNBA, bro.
Female, VJ thinks female in the NBA is coming. I hope I don't see that day.
For what reason? novelty.
To embarrass herself.
Dude, it will not make sense. And it's not they're not skilled players or they're not. Could they make open jump shots? Could they run around some picks?
Sure.
Yeah, but they won't be a game changer. There will never be a woman who's able to be a game changer in the NBA to that level because of just the difference physically. Basically, we'd have to accept that men can be women too for there to be a woman to. And I'm not gonna get into that, but that would be the train of thought. It would have to be someone who transitions to being a woman that plays, and that's your answer there.
If they ever did that, if they ever make that move, I feel bad for that woman because the third point guard on the team is going to be able to handle her. Like Reggie Jackson is going to be able to handle this one. Like name them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Reggie Jackson would smoke anybody in the NBA in the WNBA.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to think of like a backup point guard, bro. Like Cameron Payne is smoking anybody.
Kevon Looney could go to the WNBA and average 40.
And average 40
and 40.
I was just about to say average 40, 30, and 10 blocks a game. Like real talk. Griner would want no business of Kevon Looney. Like, this is what we're on. This is it. The last player on an NBA bench Kwame Brown. I shouldn't even speak on. Let me not speak on Kwame.
Leave Kwame alone, bro.
I'll get viral. Kwame Brown.
I'm gonna go ahead and log out. I want no parts of that.
Yeah, let me leave Kwame.
I want 0 parts of that. Oh man.
What's the next game? What's the next topic, y'all? What else y'all got?
Oh man.
What else we got?
Hey, that was funny.
Brian Scalabrine, bro.
He went to a 24-hour fit. He's like, listen, man, I'm closer to LeBron than y'all are to me. Like, and it was true.
Yeah.
It was true. Motherfucker, we went out there and smoked everybody at that 24-hour fitness. Kwame coming for you, bro.
Yeah, let me Kwame alone, bro.
Hey, you said that, I was like, wait, hold on now. Like,
yeah, let me Kwame alone.
Nobody wants that problem.
Before I go viral.
And you know he somehow find it too.
No, he be on the internet like that. He'll find it. I'm almost positive. If he wanted to, he'll find it.
He probably just searching. He got a chat. He got a bot just looking for things like that.
Let's see.
10-4 in 100 wouldn't that be a world record for women? What's the world record for women in 100?
I don't know. But that's a good point, Mind King. Like, that shows the discrepancy.
10-4-9. Is that? Yeah, by Flojo.
That's the record? 10-4-9?
In 1988, 10-4-9.
Wow. Have y'all watched the Cam and Mace show? I've seen clips of it, but I've never really watched the show. What's up, Know the Rules? Did you see OU and projections from draft? I did not. I have not seen those.
You want to share them?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, share them, Bradley. What's up? Know the Rules. I say Kwame hears everything. Trying to think of a next topic. What you got?
What else has been going on, man? In the sports world,
it's really college, not college. I'm sorry, it's really NBA playoffs right now.
Playoffs, yeah. Well, who played tonight?
The Suns. I think the Suns and the Nuggets might actually still be playing.
Let's look it up.
I know the Celtics beat the
Suns up 101-92.
Okay. Oh, okay. So Suns about to be down 2-1, and the Celtics up 2-1.
Celtics up 2-1. That's interesting.
I don't want to keep harping on the Deion Sanders thing, honestly. I mean, like I've said what I've had to say on Deion. So it is what it is. Like
It's 10.5 wins. That's over. Oh,
that makes sense though, because you have those two games, right? Like I
yeah.
was, like I think Keyshawn talked about it in the chat. Like if FSU wins those two games,
We beat LSU and Clemson.
show me another loss on our schedule.
There's the one.
You can't. I know Jerg don't like that, but it's the
There's
facts.
a. He ain't gotta like it. I mean, like,
It's just a fact.
what viable reason can he make to say
Rivalry.
no? Y'all gonna rival my ass,
I
bro. Get
know,
the
I
fuck out
know,
of here.
but that's
It
what
only
they'll,
fixes so much, bro.
that's what they'll say. They'll say it's a rivalry.
There's a talent gap at this point.
There's a coaching gap at this point.
We call it what it is. Either way,
There's a coaching gap. At
there's
this
a
point.
gap that rivalry doesn't fix
I think
every
there's
gap.
I think there's a coaching gap between all three pro. I don't think Billy is it at all. I'm starting to really think Billy can't coach football.
Leave Billy alone, man. I like him where he at.
And I'm starting to think Mario. Actually, I've always thought this about Mario. He's a better position coach or a coordinator than he is a head coach because of what he does well. Um, I don't know if it translates to being a head football coach. Um, I think there's a coaching gap between Florida State, Miami, and Florida State and Florida. Forget the talent gap. Because both programs still have talent. I won't take that away from them.
Hey, I got a question. They're bringing up something. And they keep asking this. I don't know if you answered it already. Coleman comes here. Is he starting?
Yeah. He's
Like,
opposite of Johnny. He's opposite of Johnny.
just day one, opposite
Yeah.
of Johnny. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He's opposite of Johnny. Can't convince me otherwise. And I like Tron, but Coleman's done it at a level that Tron hasn't. So,
Okay.
this is what it is.
And we just hope to see Hakeem by the end of the year. I mean, we get Coleman. I don't want to see Hakeem at all.
I gotta say, you don't really even need to see Keem. And Marcus says, "Who's the slot?" That's Winston. Winston's in the slot. Period.
Yeah.
Like that is
You'll see some guys rotating in and out, but
you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go to Columbus, Ohio, to find me a better starting receiver unit than Johnny Wilson, Keon Coleman, and Winston Wright. You're gonna have to go to Ohio. That's the only. That's
only because Marvin Harrison out there running routes.
Well, I mean, they recruit ridiculous. I mean, do you watch Ohio State recruiting wide receivers? It's absolutely insane.
But I think he's the difference maker between the groups.
Well, Marvin Harrison is always also obviously wide receiver one, right? He's that dude. But no, you're gonna have to go to Ohio to see a better starting wide receiver group than Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, and Winston Wright.
And then, I mean, you'd be able to throw a lot of different guys in that slot for different reasons. Jaheim Bell's going to see time in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, it's going to be nasty. I know Alo want to see Toafili in the slot.
No, I don't. But they use him all over.
And why not?
I don't.
Dude's a weapon. He's that kind of weapon, though. To me,
I agree. I've always agreed on Toafili.
Ja'Kai Douglas.
Ja'Kai he'll be backing up Winston Wright, I think, in that slot for sure. I think that starting three, and then you're going to rotate in Kentron Portier, Ja'Kai Douglas. Now the question is there a third guy to rotate into that rotation? Is Hakeem that guy, or does he still need some work? Venturius Jacobs, Deuce Spann, who I've kind of actually given up on. I don't think we ever get anything real out of Deuce Spann personally, but he can prove me wrong.
Yeah,
he can prove me wrong.
It's always a chance. I mean, so our basically the other part to this is at the end of the day we could lose some certain players here and there. Here's a question: outside of Jordan Travis, obviously, we get our nightmare scenario. Who's the guy we don't want to lose as a starter? Like, damn, what are we gonna do now? This is
changes to the portal.
No. injury or something.
Oh, to
Like
injury.
we would say because right now we're looking at a
Okay.
situation.
No, I get what you're saying. So who's the player that we couldn't lose on offense?
Yeah.
You might not believe this. If we're not talking Jordan Travis, I don't think there's a player. I believe this offense is deep to the point where I don't think there's a player that if you lost him, you'd go, oh my God, we're screwed. Now, would you like to have him? Sure.
Would it be on offensive line?
Now, if we don't get Coleman, I can make the argument that Johnny would be that
Johnny
guy.
would be the guy because he's the
Yeah, I can make the argument that Johnny, if we don't get Coleman, would be the guy.
dude.
But
I'm thinking about this.
Like VJ says, Trey Benson, bro. I'm not like no disrespect to Trey Benson, who I think's a monster. I'm not worried about that. If we lose Trey Benson, okay, cool.
We got the
Holmes.
State guy.
Yeah, we got Keziah Holmes. We got Rodney Hill. We got Toa Philly. Now CJ Campbell
still running the shit out of the ball.
And the freshman ain't even on campus yet. I ain't worried about running back room.
I mean, yeah.
I ain't worried about tight end room. I'm not even worried about. I see Mo Smith. Mo Smith makes a little bit of sense because he's been the center. So
I'm talking about on offense. There's plenty of guys we can lose on defense. I think that could change everything for us.
Mo Smith is a good answer because they have struggled to find a center that can beat that dude out. And we've been trying to fire Maurice Smith for the last 3 years. And Maurice Smith keeps winning the job and showing you that he can play the position.
Didn't Gibbons beat him out?
No, Gibbons never beat him out.
He never beat him out?
No.
Oh.
They brought Caden Lyles to beat him out. And even before Caden Lyles got hurt, they were saying Maurice Smith was a better player than Caden Lyles.
That's what I was thinking about, Caden Lyles.
Yeah, you're looking about Lyles. Yeah, Lyles never beat him out. So, yeah, Maurice Smith might be a good answer. Outside of that, though,
I want my shot at Maurice Smith, man. I want to see if I can beat him.
I don't think there's a player on offense that we could. I don't think there's a. Even Robert Scott, who I love, we deep. I'll throw Julian Armella out there. We'll be all right, and I believe that we'll be all right.
Yeah,
we'll be all right.
Armella, what's the other old boy name? The freshman.
Yeah. I don't want to see him yet.
I mean, if we had to,
but I don't want to see him.
I think the guy's a beast. Hey, we ran the same thing. No, I play.
That's good, Bradley. Good one. That's a good one.
That's good. Oh man, he was like, no, I play.
Exactly.
That boy go play. He ain't losing. I'm gonna start.
They bought Roddick in here, and Roddick ain't been able to beat. Now Roddick will start at one of the guard spots, but Roddick was brought in, I think, to beat Maurice Smith, and he can't beat him at center.
He was like, nah.
Now, if you go to defense, I think defense you have a lot more options.
We lose one of the linebackers.
We're kind of fucked.
Akeem go down. That's
a lot of people are saying Deloach, and it's not that I disagree, but if you lose Deloach or Bethune,
I think if we lose Bethune, it's worse than losing Deloach.
I think
my opinion.
I think Deloach takes a step that Bethune was better last year. I think Deloach takes the step to surpass Bethune this year. But I think if you lose either one of them, bro, I just don't.
Is Lundy our fullback? Still?
I think Jaheim takes that. I don't even know if you need to use Lundy at this point.
I was just wondering. But
Lundy's going to be in that linebacker rotation, God forbid we lose any safeties. We don't have none. We don't have none. So
hopefully
we don't have none. So we better not lose a safety.
Hey, hold on. Who's this guy, Jeremiah Dorsett?
Jeremiah Dorsett.
Did he say Duke?
I didn't see the comment. He says, what do y'all think about Duke football?
Duke?
Ask Miami about Duke. Florida State's never lost to Duke, so I ain't worried about it.
Duke?
We do play Duke this year, though.
I am unbothered about seeing
But I am unbothered about Duke.
Duke.
Jeremiah, if you are a Duke fan, first of all, welcome to the channel. Hit that like button and subscribe.
It's all love, but bro, yeah,
But
we ain't worried about Duke over here.
if you're a Duke fan, you might want to go talk to Miami because y'all done beat them. Y'all beat them multiple times. Y'all never beat us, and I'm not losing any sleep over the Duke Blue Devils, bro.
They almost had us in the first half. What that boy said?
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, they almost. But yeah, we've never actually been that
Is Fitzgerald's
concerned.
going to be the kicker until I see someone else? Yeah, I think Fitz is the kicker.
Lord Jesus, but he kind of turned the corner a little bit at the end of the year, man. He made a couple good field goals, man. No,
I mean, Fitz is okay within. Excuse me, within like the 40-yard. Once you get past the 40-yard line, I don't know, man.
I disagree with this.
What did he say? This one right here? Your
Yeah,
third and fourth tackle don't get the warm and fuzzies. We all excited about him. So I don't think Armella's a third or fourth tackle though. I think Armella is clearly probably your backup right tackle at this point. Hell,
he's your backup left tackle. I mean,
I'm about to say hell. Maybe your backup left, but there's a question that whether
it's Bless and Scott, right?
He's Bless and Scott, and there's a question of whether Bless is actually going to start at left and they move Scott to right. Because Bless has looked that good, which I agree. Bless has looked that good.
And who's behind them? Like, there's somebody they're talking about before Armella that's supposedly right now ahead of him on the depth chart, but I don't see it being that way once we get to the fall.
I'm trying to think.
I gotta look it up.
I mean, unless they thinking Byers, but I think they end up moving Byers inside because Byers did not look good at tackle. You got Scott Harrod. I forgot Darius. Darius is there. Darius is there. So that's a good point then, if you think about it. That Armella could be third because Darius is a very good player. I forgot about Darius. Dan Squatch, my bad.
But is he the possibility? Well, they talk about him playing guard too.
Darius can play anywhere.
Yeah,
Darius has played.
He play center.
Darius has played literally every position on the offense floor.
Yeah, bro, you're missing me on that. Like, I'm not bothered by Armella being like our third and fourth tackles. We going into Lucas Simmons, Bless, Scott, Lucas Simmons, Byers, and Armella are the depth at tackle. And I feel like
Lucas is going to be your last option.
And that's the last option. My third and fourth tackle, I'm happy.
The freshman has work to do. I don't want to see him out there. I really don't. I'm not saying it's trash, but Dan Squash knows what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want to see Simmons out there. He's got work to do, and all freshmen have work to do, right?
Yeah.
But Darius, I forgot about Darius. Darius is right. See, we on the same page. Simmons got work to do.
That's fine.
But Darius is I forgot about Darius. Yeah. No, Darius makes me even more confident. Like, because Darius will legitimately play left tackle, right tackle, guard, or center.
And so Dimitri's still there at guard. Keandre Jones transferred in. And then Casey Rod. Bro, our line is what we've been waiting on offensive line wise.
We are deep, bro. We're deep on our line. I am unbothered by
Damn, we really are. I didn't know he was that deep.
The only position that you would worry about is center. Because I don't think we have a legit number 2 center.
I think Darius could do it.
Darius would be probably your first option. They're working Quayshawn Sapp into the mold, but Quayshawn needs a lot of work. If you didn't watch the spring, Sapp needs a lot of work. But I think Sapp might be your center of the future, but he just needs work.
Yeah. I remember watching that kid Jalen Early play, man, out here in Texas. He's also in that tackle rotation, on a depth chart.
I think they like him at guard, but he has played tackle. Jalen Early will be a part of the future O-line for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
But we've talked about, me and Dan Squatch, we've talked about Keandre. Keandre has, for a guy that's transferred from Auburn, Keandre is, and this is one of the reasons why I've always said, like, I thought Keandre would start. But Keandre, his size and athleticism, like Dan Squatch is saying, it's crazy. Keandre could be a second round like pick if he just put all the shit together.
I mean,
He
if
has
ifs
that.
was fifths.
He has the talent, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about Keandre, he has 2 years for us, so I don't think he starts this year. Where I originally thought he would start this year. But watching the spring game, I'm not sure he does because you're just too deep, especially when you get Meach back. No one's taking Meach's spot. I don't think anyone's taking that spot, right?
Nah.
So
that means Roddick got the other spot?
Roddick got the other spot. But Keandre has this year and next year. So Keandre he'll be here the next 2 years.
So where Byers at?
I don't think Byers starts. And I think most people in the chat, if you told them that Jeremiah Byers didn't start this year, they'd say you're crazy. But we watched Jeremiah Byers not look very good at tackle.
So I'm looking at what depth chart.
Jeremiah Byers is going to be a guard. Our guards are loaded.
Robert Scott's definitely starting, so is Bless.
Scott and Bless Harris are your tackles, period.
Casey's definitely starting.
Casey Roddick is
definitely starting.
Moe's your starter.
And then
the biggest,
Meach is starting.
I think Meach is starting. You make a point, Dan Squatch, but that didn't seem to hurt him at all last year. We'll see.
And we're talking about Byers being on the bench, Keandre being on the bench, Armella being on the that. Those are the guys behind these guys.
So y'all think Byers? Does anybody think Byers is going to beat out Demetrius Emmanuel for the right guard? I don't, but I'm curious to think if anybody else thinks
Demetrius ain't fighting to come back so hard to sit on the bench, and I think he's gonna bring it. And I don't think he would have. Maybe he goes undrafted, but he's in the league.
Meach probably goes undrafted because he has the body of a center. Right?
He is up in the league though.
He's like 6'2", 300. So he'd be better as a center. I don't know if he can snap the ball like that. So, but yeah, Meach is.
I like him. He did his job better than I thought he would.
I'm a little worried about Scott coming back in time. I think that's why we're working so hard at tackle. I think Scott to be fine. Scott was still on. I think that's all a precaution, personally. You keep him on crutches and you keep him in a boot so he don't put any pressure on whatever is ailing.
It's a lot of pressure.
When you're 300 plus pounds, that's a lot.
Up 300 pounds. Up 300 pounds. You walk around with you sprain an ankle. You need to keep some weight off of it. So
as far as I'm concerned, I think when it comes August, September, Scott's got to be ready. He's got to be ready.
We have some depth. That's crazy. I remember when we didn't have any type of depth at O-line.
Well, I don't think we move him to guard. I don't think Scott's going to guard. But you're talking insane depth if we were able to move Scott to guard. Because I've always kind of thought that's where his NFL career lied.
Nothing wrong with that. Because that's what happened with Cam Irvin.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not a bad thing. And my thing was that everybody's always had some really good things to say about Armella too, man. Since last year.
Because he oozes potential. Like he's legit 6'6", legit 300 plus, and Armella has shown that he can lose and gain the weight. I think with Armella, it's all about getting the body right. Everything else follows suit. Marco, you do not believe Louisville's making the ACC championship game. Stop it.
They're making a what? Who's their quarterback right now?
I think Cunningham is back, I think.
Oh, that's cute.
Did Cunningham come back or did he go pro? No, I think he went pro. I don't know. I don't know who the quarterback is. Marco,
Doesn't matter.
is Cunningham back for y'all, or um, who will be kick returner and punt returner? I
I have
think
no idea.
I think Winston Wright takes the punt return job. He did that at West Virginia, so I expect him to do that here.
Does Benson get kicks?
And I think they probably put Trey Benson back at kick return because he showed that he was that
Did
guy.
they like Did they like Holmes out there too?
They might try a couple running backs back there.
I always felt like Toafili could do it.
Have
I
they
felt
ever?
like
I don't feel like they've ever tried him, have they?
I always thought he could, man. Like it's just his run style and like he's not like a big wiggle guy, but when he's fast enough and he can avoid tackles.
So then, if Cunningham went pro, who's their starter?
Somebody that doesn't matter.
Somebody that we don't know. So I'm not worried about Louisville.
They said Leary transfer there?
Leary went to
Appreciate you, bro.
where did O'Leary go? Kentucky. I think Leary went to Kentucky.
You want to go to sleep? I don't know. Leary did transfer.
I think Leary went to Kentucky.
I don't really care though.
Top
And
goals this year: beat Clemson and win the ACC. Right? I've said this since.
That's our floor.
I've said that. Hold on. I said this since December. I said this since the season ended, and we played Oklahoma. I said the goal for this year is beat Clemson, beat Clemson, beat Clemson, beat Clemson. I don't care about LSU. It's going to be an amazing game. I got Terrence. Let's do it. Let's book the flights. Let's do it. I don't care if we don't even get tickets to the. If we don't get tickets to the game, I don't even care. I'm gonna try, but I don't even. I mean, did you see the tickets I had for the? We had some damn good seats for the Oklahoma game.
Yeah.
It was in the end zone, like row like 3, bro. It was in there.
Damn. Where you get them tickets from?
We bought them.
We gotta holler at old boy. He said he can look out for us on that though.
Chris, I'll hit Chris up. I know he can get us. Chris can get us in tailgate. I know that much.
But he said he was talking about getting us
I
passes.
don't know about tickets. I don't know about tickets. No.
I mean, won't hurt.
I think Chris was talking about passes on a home game. Orlando, obviously, it's a home game, but so we can book
looking at
that.
the flights right now.
We can book that. I'll probably drive.
Because you just come up here. Well, you gonna drive to?
That's what we did for Oklahoma. We drove.
That's Oklahoma. What was that game at?
In Orlando, same place this LSU game gonna be at.
No, man.
I'm from Central Florida, so we just drove.
I say I'm gonna be. If I come, I'm bringing the family.
I loaded the whole family in the truck and we drove.
Yeah, I might have to do this.
It was cheaper than flying just because you fly, you gotta rent a car. It was cheap. Honestly, it just evened out. It was cheaper. Like,
and that's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. But like I said, VJ, it's beat Clemson, beat Clemson, beat Clemson. If you're not beating Clemson, what are you doing? We haven't beat Clemson in what, 6-7 years? Like, that has to change, bro. We got to change that.
That's not bad.
We got to change that.
200 round trip. What it's looking like for me to fly out there.
Did y'all see Pittman crystal ball to Utah? Ew.
Utah for what? That's bad.
What is Micah doing? What is Micah doing? He's a West Coast dude though, so maybe he just wants to go back to what, I don't know.
Be closer to home, I guess. But you remember my issue with this with going to this game was that's Vanessa's birthday. It's my wife's birthday.
She a Florida State grad birthday present?
She is. That is true. I'm gonna mute this so I can yell down to her right quick.
Okay. I'm catching up in the comments, y'all. Take it right. He's gonna be a Mormon. What is Micah doing over? I don't know what he's doing with Utah, bro. Said he got a chick in Utah. Really? Come on, bro. He going to Utah because of. Alright, I'm not even gonna address that, bro. If that's where he want to go because of a feet, bro. First of all, it's Utah. I can just think of the type of woman we talking about in Utah, but all right. First of all, he has no girlfriend. Where you get that source? I don't know. He ain't got no girlfriend.
I mean,
I know he has a vlog, but that don't mean he.
Maybe she would have made the vlog.
So he had a girl that used to be on this vlog, a white girl. Of course, it's a white girl. And if he's going to Utah, it's definitely going to be another white girl.
Man, you can't be saying that shit.
Nah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
With the kind of personality he is, it makes sense.
Ain't nothing wrong. I mean, whatever it is, what it is. He got a white girl.
They found him at Florida State.
Not to quote he who must not be named. Who is he who must not be named? But Clemson kind of feel like kicking the door and whole rotten structure will fall in. Who is he who not be named though? That's what
Jimbo said that?
Is it Jimbo?
It sounds like a Jimbo.
I don't you know me, I don't really hold a grudge against Jimbo.
Fuck Jimbo.
It is what it is. Jimbo is going through hell at A&M. I ain't worried about Jimbo. Are there any blacks in Utah besides the athlete? Ask the same question about Colorado.
Dude, I'll be honest. Like the black people out there has all say the same thing. It's probably one of the most racist places in America. Like my wife went there a few months ago, and she said the only people she saw that were black were the people that were there for the meeting that she was there for. Like, so
get out.
I don't know. I mean, hey, but it's also a Mormon community.
The German fella. I got you, bro. Gotcha.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, that's.
And I said that sounded like something Jimbo would say.
Dan Squatch took it to a whole nother level.
Damn. I thought it was talking about somebody.
We won't name him, but now I am aware of who you're talking about. Okay.
Oh, wow. That escalated quickly.
So, T, do you have any, expectation? Obviously, we have expectations for the season. Because are you buying into the hype, though? This is what I'm asking. Are you buying into, potential playoff team?
Yeah, I think I said that early on. I think just with the schedule.
Peter takes offense, y'all.
Peter. I mean, does she have family out there?
There's an exception to every rule. That's all I'm saying.
Out there. How much family she got? That's what I want to. Is she related to any athletes, NBA players?
Peter found a diamond in the rough. Yeah, exactly.
But as I was saying, was she an athlete? Yeah, that's a good question.
Hey, the chat ain't shit.
What school did she play for? What was she at BYU? Oh man! But
if she went to school, she didn't go to Brigham Young. She went probably Utah or Utah State. She didn't go to Brigham Young. That's a Mormon school, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing, they recruit everybody that even non-Mormons.
Well, they have to if you want to be competitive.
And they
then they try to indoctrinate.
They recruit Christians, and then you have to live by whatever they.
Yeah, and then try to indoctrinate you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, he's single about goddamn. Defending him very. Like he is no longer sticking his penis in that woman.
I know the girl he's talking about.
Hold on.
I know.
Hold on 1 second.
I know the girl you're talking about, Terrell. And I do know they broke up because I do watch his vlog. I didn't know if he had a new girlfriend or what people was talking about. By the way, man, like I said, I like Micah. I like Micah. So um, I think Clemson is beginning to show some chinks in the armor. Actually, I think they've been showing that for a while. We just weren't good enough to capitalize on it because we were building on our own. Um, Clemson has to hope that Clay Klubnik is the next. They missed out on DJ. He wasn't what they needed him to be. And remember, Clemson went through a string of Taj Boyd, uh, Kelly, and then Trevor, and then take it back.
Well.
I'm tripping. Taj Boyd and what? Then Deshaun, and then Trevor or slash Kelly, but really Trevor. And then they missed out with DJ. DJ didn't fit the bill. He didn't. He wasn't what they expected him. They better hope Cade Klubnik is
He
that
is
guy.
not. He is not.
They better hope Cade Klubnik.
I've seen him. He is not at all. He is not in that from that cloth. No, he is not that guy. Clear cut, he's not. And Peter said what we all thought. He met her while he played at Utah State.
I knew it wasn't Brigham Young. That's what I didn't know.
So she wasn't playing no sports, bro? Be honest now. Come on, man.
But like I was saying though, you buy into the hype.
Do I buy into the hype? Yeah, man. I think I was probably remember I started mentioning that as soon as we got to that game against Oklahoma. I think I DM'd you. I was like, hey, so kind of looking ahead, why not?
But see, at that time, we didn't know all those guys was coming back too, though. But now they're all back, all of them.
But I would have felt that way even if Verse left. I had a lot of belief in Patrick Payton taking the next step. That was just my opinion, and him being that guy. And I knew we would. I mean, we're gonna reload too. Like I feel like we're getting into a point where we're maximizing the portal, and we're recruiting well enough, and we're getting a top 15 class every year. I still think we're there. We're gonna
This
need
year,
a
I think we
couple
get
of
top 10. I think we get top 10 this year.
yeah, and I think what it really comes down to is we have probably one of the better quarterbacks in the nation. Definitely one of the most I guess explosive guys in the nation at quarterback. I don't think anybody is more explosive than him except maybe Caleb Williams at the quarterback position, and it's arguable. I think he's just as explosive as a guy like Caleb Williams at the quarterback position. I think that's what really separates us from a lot of teams. We have the best quarterback in the ACC. I don't want to hear nothing about May. If you want to talk about NFL potential, okay, cool. But right now, college football quarterback Jordan Travis is the best quarterback in the ACC easily.
Easily.
I don't. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Wow.
About as far as what everything he brings to the table, what he brings to your table, running game wise, his ability to hit the deep ball, which we just assumed. I remember when we thought he couldn't throw it that deep. Remember, like we used to think, like, could he not? We used to ask, we both said this, like, can he not throw?
Because that's what we were being told. And I always used to be like, "There's no way he can't." The media used to spin it to the way that Jordan Travis can't throw the ball 5 yards. I think that's what they were telling us. And then I watch him in the game and go, "Okay, this motherfucker can throw a little bit." Like,
yeah, he's still playing quarterback. He got to be able to throw some. But yeah, and that's how I feel. Like, I think Jordan Travis is the difference maker overall when it comes to this. And like that's why I said, like, there's nobody else we're worried about losing. That is gonna, like, oh well, we're not gonna. We have no chance now. Like, he's the guy, and he's that guy for a reason. He's the guy that because of him we can win a national championship. There isn't any other player on our team that I would say that about.
I'm gonna ask you a crazy question. Strictly obviously hypothetical here. Jordan Travis leads to 2023 Seminoles to a natty. Where's he rank?
I think we kind of discussed this a little bit. Uh,
Because I got an answer that might shock
uh,
the world.
top like as far as quarterback.
Where's he ranked quarterback wise? There's the big three.
Yeah, the big
FSU has the big three. Where's he rank?
He'd have an argument for number one, but I'd put him at two.
I'm gonna put him at one.
He's just been
I
he's
love
been here so long.
I love J-Bo. J-Bo had an insane amount of talent. Charlie Ward played with an insane amount of talent. Chris Winkie played with an insane amount of talent. Jordan Travis would have taken a team that 2 years ago was 5-7 and won a national championship. Your number one receiver is Jameis Winston played with arguably the greatest wide receiver that ever played at Florida State. And I love P-Dub, but Rashard Green has a case for that.
He got the numbers.
He has all the numbers to be the greatest wide receiver that ever played at Florida State. Jameis Winston played with a defense that consisted of Jalen Ramsey, Eddie Goldman, Timmy Jernigan. I mean, what are we talking about? Jordan Travis would have played with the team. Who's his number one receiver? Johnny Wilson? Where's he going to rank at Florida State? Trey Benson is a great running back. Where does he rank?
We don't have anybody else that we would say is a top five.
Jameis Winston played behind arguably the greatest offensive line that Florida State ever had. You had the Remington Award winner in Brian Stork. I think Trey Jackson was the best all-around O-lineman on that squad. I think Trey Jackson was the best O-lineman.
Went to the NFL and balled out too.
But Cam Irving was a first-round pick. What are we talking about? If Jordan Travis does that, he's number one to me. He is the greatest. Bruh.
If he does that, he has to do that. But
Jameis Winston, thank you, Steve. Jameis Winston played with the greatest tight end to ever play at Florida State.
That's true.
Who is Travis? Who is Travis playing with?
Let's not disrespect these guys.
I'm not saying these guys are bums, but when we talk about in the pantheon of Florida State greats, Johnny Wilson don't rank up there.
He's still writing his story, bro. You telling me he can't be what like he can't have a rank where KB is, right?
Maybe. Okay, but I don't really rank Kelvin Benjamin that high. Kelvin Benjamin has a bunch of potential.
Top 10 receiver with us?
Yeah, I'll say top 10. Yeah.
Not top 5 though.
No, hell no.
I think Johnny Wilson has an opportunity to be a top 10 receiver for us.
Okay, we'll see how this season plays out. That's
offensive line wise, this is one of our better offensive lines. I'm not saying it's that 2013 offensive line
that we've had in a while. I'll give you that. But show me somebody on that who on this offensive line is getting draft buzz like Cam Irvin was getting. Like who on this offensive line is potentially a first round pick? There's not a guy on the offensive line that's a first rounder.
Nah.
There's no Mario Williams on defense. I think Fabian Lovett's pretty good, but he's not Timmy Jernigan.
Nah.
I think Kalen DeLoach is really good. He's not Telvin Smith.
No. There's no argument there.
So, and then we talk about Charlie Ward's team. You talk about a guy who played with Derek Brooks and the like. I mean, bro.
Does that mean so that would that also lessen what knowing that those teams are
so go ahead.
Knowing that those teams were so great, if we win this championship, say we get there, we win it, this team probably ranks as the 4th best overall team, right? That's what we're saying.
From a talent perspective, yes. This team top to bottom is not as talented as 13, 99, or 93. Just not.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad with that.
But to win a championship with that, Jordan would cement his status, bro.
Does that put Norvell over Jimbo?
I can't say that because Jimbo gets credit for putting the talent together. But at the same time, I mean,
What the fuck did Norvell just do?
No, I'm with you. That's
like if he doesn't, that's really putting the talent together. Jimbo walked into
it's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a conversation to have.
Jimbo walked into a dream job. And that's the other part. How do we shit? We gotta pay it now, but all of a sudden he wins the title. We gotta pay Norvell.
It's a hell of a shit. You know what? That's a hell of a conversation to have because you're right. Jimbo
Brother was like, yes, it freaking does. It fucking does.
It does. Now that I think about it, like you're talking about a guy who had to completely rebuild this thing, and everybody gave him shit, me included. I gave him shit. I never have pretended like I have been 100% Norvell 100% of the time because I haven't.
I haven't.
For him to win a natty in year 4 after losing to Jacksonville State 2 years ago, holy shit.
I still think.
Holy shit!
Shut that shit up, Owen. I want to talk about that shit.
Holy shit!
That would be insane, man.
Shut that up! I want to hear that shit. It's like that.
Look how far you come. Boy, you look stressed in that video too.
That was right after Jacksonville State, bro.
You look stressed.
That was like an 8-hour live stream, bro. I stayed on all night talking about that game.
Boy, you look distraught in that video.
That is one of.
Oh boy,
bro, I was on one that night. I think I drunk half a bottle of Crown Peach that night. Like I was on one that night.
I forgot where I was, but I started drinking too. I was just like, this is what it's come to. Like, I didn't even watch the game because I was just like, it's Jackson State. I don't need to watch this game. You know, I'm out with my friends and family. Then, boom. Jacksonville State? We're out.
No, absolutely. If Norvell wins a natty, that's insane. That's insane. Like, where we were COVID year.
That dude did propose at the end of that loss, huh? Who was that?
That was
Why, bro?
Who the hell was that? I forget who it was. I don't even care. Who was that, y'all? Who in the comments? Who was that?
I'll find him. Brad was. I'm gonna find it. Was it Brady Scott? Brady Scott.
Yeah, it was Brady Scott.
Brady Scott did it.
That was a long night, Peter. I was on live to like you gotta remember. I was also in Hawaii. So I was on a whole different time schedule than y'all. So I was like on live to like 5 a.m. Eastern time, bro.
So you was up late,
like
that's still 1 o'clock your time, like
bro. I was on one that night, bro. That was a long night. I just couldn't believe what I had watched.
You started the team and you had to pick between the 4 of them. I'm taking Jameis, man.
Yeah, now
that's different, bro.
Pure talent wise, I still think it's an argument between Jameis and Charlie because I don't think Charlie ever got his just due. He played in the era.
Charlie should have played in the NFL.
Yeah, he played in the era where they kind of looked down on the black quarterback at that point. If Charlie played in this era, he would have got drafted first round.
He's Caleb Williams,
right? He would have got drafted, like he would. But I think there's a conversation between Charlie and Jameis, but I probably would.
Prototypical size, you're gonna go with Jameis.
I go back and forth with the two. Like one day I'll be Charlie Ward, the next day I'll be Jameis. I think it's that close with those two.
Do you take Travis over Winky? I feel like almost anybody could have QB'd that team to me. Like that 99 team, it was just
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if
Well,
I
one,
take
he was
Travis over him.
26
I
though.
know. I
Well,
know.
27 years old.
But Travis is like 24, 25 right now, though.
I mean, he can be all as he wants. I love it.
I think Jordan Travis is about 24, 25 right
Yeah, he's 24 at least.
now. Uh,
23 is he was born 2020. No, 2000 he was born.
Jordan Travis is born. Oh, so he's
Yeah.
23? He's
Wait,
23?
Jordan's a wait. Hold on. Wait, is Jordan Travis a junior? He's a senior. He's a senior, right?
He's a senior, yeah. He's a senior.
Okay, I'm bugging, but he's born 2020.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, actually, yeah, bro. His birthday just passed too, May 2nd.
So he just turned 23.
I mean, that's not bad.
No,
There's
it's not
worse
bad.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
he'll go into the league at 24.
I stand by that though. If we somehow was able to win a natty this year, I would put Jordan Travis the number one quarterback in Florida State history. He would have done more with less than any quarterback in the history of the school.
Yeah, that 99 team, the defense was stacked.
The '99 team had what Darnell Dockett, Corey Simon.
That defensive line was
It was stupid. Yeah,
nasty.
no, it was stupid.
Oh,
It was stupid.
and that's how we won games, I think.
And Darnell Doggett might be my favorite Seminole, outside of that guy. So
I'm a big Corey Simon fan. Just knowing him when I was a kid, I still got. I'll never forget that story. My aunt turning him down for for prom. I was like, I had to tell her. I was like, you know who that guy is? Like, he would go to Florida State.
man, I know this is off topic, but how is Stetson Bennett not the greatest quarterback in Georgia history? I get it. You had Matt Stafford and some of these other, and Aaron Murray and some of these other guys.
He
This
is.
guy, this guy's a
Two
back.
championships,
This guy's
bro,
a back-to-back national champion. Stetson Bennett should be the
and
greatest
MVP
quarterback.
of both games.
Right, right.
He is. I don't care if he didn't win a Heisman. He's probably one of the greatest Georgia players of all time.
VJ asks a great question. Who wins 99 or 13?
13. 13. 13 has the offensive line to compete with
Yeah.
the 99 defensive line.
I think 13.
Defensively, I mean, I know Peter Warwick out there,
I think
but
13.
I mean, if you needed some guys to guard him,
I think 13.
they on that 13 team.
I think 13. I think 13 because you got Dub on 99, and y'all know I love me some Dub. But you got Rashard on 13. And you got somebody in Kelvin Benjamin that I don't know if 13 match. I don't know if 99 matches with anything Kelvin Benjamin brings to the table.
They had was Amari on that team?
Now, the great matchup is Darnell Dockett, Corey Simon, and them boys against that old line, though. That decides the game. Because if we can't block them boys, 99 wins hands down.
Interesting. I'm trying to see who was on that secondary.
In 99,
I can't.
right, you had Dugans. Yep, Lavernius Cole.
Chris Hope, take Cody.
I think. But you got Jalen Ramsey, Terrence Brooks, LaMarcus Joyner. Man, that's tough. That's tough.
They not messing with them, man.
That's tough. Bowden beats Fisher. That's an interesting debate as well.
Now, mind you, that the wide receiver room in '99 was insane.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
They had Peter Warwick, Ron Dugan, Snoop Menace, Anquan Bolden, Talman Gardner, Robert Morgan,
Lavernius Cole,
Truce Bell, Lavernius Cole, bro. I remember Truce Bell. I was big. I thought he was.
But I think the 13 secondary might be able to cover them boys though.
They can, but
outside of Peter Ward, because I think Peter Ward gives PJ Williams the business. I think he just
that's who's on him. Yeah, he gonna give him fits.
I think he give PJ the business.
But and I don't see a running back that Travis Minor. I love Travis Minor, but
13 has the edge at running back for sure.
Easily.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 13's all the way, man. It's 13 easily. Yeah, we was dropping 40, 50 points a game. I know Anquan didn't play, but he was on that team. He actually played a little bit, I think.
That's a great question, kind of from Jeremiah. We lost some natties, like the Tennessee one that pisses me off still to this day. Oklahoma one, Florida State.
13 was that 13 or 2?
Yeah, Florida State should probably have we have 3.
We should have 6.
We should have 4 or 5. Derek said 6, but I won't argue 6. Like we left some out there.
We probably should have 98, 99, 2000.
That's a good point. That 13 secondary. Can think of is there any elite receiver they had to cover? I can't think of one. That's a good point.
They had to cover. Was that Sammy? No, it was Sammy or Hopkins.
Hopkins was gone at that point.
Hopkins was gone, but they had to cover Sammy. Locked him up.
Sammy was a one-trick pony. Like I always said that about Sammy. He was a slant or go guy. Now he was elite at that in college, but that's all he was.
I mean, it's
all he was.
On the same tip, like what elite DBs did that Florida State team face back then? Like I mean,
99.
In 99, like.
I mean, but that's when Florida's in their heyday,
True.
Miami
is. We can talk about the Miami secondary.
Miami's 2 years away from a natty themselves at that point. Like Florida was no joke, and I'm talking about the state of Florida.
Like, hell no! It was insane.
So I can't necessarily say that, right? Whereas in that 13 season, Miami was a joke. Florida was definitely a joke. I think isn't that the year Florida lost to Georgia Southern?
Miami was 9-4. Like we can't call that a joke.
Yeah, but Al Golden was coaching that team, bro.
Okay, true. All right, my bad. I'm just not gonna put it past like guys like that have. Not only did they play like well,
you can't even name a player on the 13 Miami team. I can name one.
Who?
Duke Johnson.
Who was the quarterback?
Was it Stephen Morris the quarterback? I don't know. I think it was Stephen Morris was the quarterback of the 13 team. I could be wrong though. That's my point. You can't name a player on the 13 Miami team other than Duke Johnson.
Is that the only person you can name?
Yeah, Morris was the quarterback.
Morris was the quarterback. Yeah, I can't think of a lot of other people, bro. I ain't gonna lie. At all. Coley was there, right? Like they had the receivers with Coley and Dorsett. I know that.
Was Coley there? Maybe he was. I don't know. But Coley ended up being a major disappointment, right? Like.
Yeah, but I think that was like
Stacey
Coley's freshman year.
Okay.
And yeah, you said Duke was there.
Jurgen told me Stacey Coley was the next Jerry Rice. So.
Yeah.
You see how that turned out.
I mean, on defense, I can't think of anybody.
No.
Like, I'm trying to think of their linebackers. You always can think of like some of their linebackers. I know who was there because they said he was better than Jalen. Artie Burns.
Who was saying that shit?
They was talking about him being better because Burns came out the year after Jalen came out. And they was talking about him being better. I think they came into college at the same time. And they was talking about Burns being better. I'm almost certain Burns was there. But, yeah, you can't name a lot of people. I get it. Are people going to look back about this team and say the same thing?
This Florida State team?
If we don't, say yeah, possibly. Well, even the Miami team. Who are you going to remember from this Miami team?
This year?
James Williams, maybe?
I mean, but you don't expect them to be good, though.
Yeah. Well, I was just comparing them to the years and say we win a championship. What are we looking at?
Oh, that's why this team can.
Who did we beat this year?
That's my point. That's why this team could potentially make a playoff because You play LSU, you play Clemson.
Who did we beat?
Florida's a mess. Miami is a mess. Like
Who did we hang our hat on and say, hey, yeah, you know
LSU
what?
and Clemson. LSU and Clemson.
Clemson.
That's it.
So we beat Jaden Daniels.
Beat Jane Daniels and Clay Klubnik.
Clay Klubnik is trash, bro. I'm on my soapbox now, and I'm telling everyone that watches this channel, dude, K Klubnik is trash.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you think Graham Mertz is then?
Trash.
If Klubnik is trash, then Mertz is what?
Like he's the stuff on the bottom of the trash.
Okay, so
like
Florida's nothing.
I'm not concerned about Florida. I'm saying, but what win are we gonna hang our hat on and say that we really deserve to be in this playoff then? LSU.
It's got LSU and Clemson. At the end of the day, you still got to give Clemson props because they still got a dude on that team named Will Shipley, the best white running back since McCaffrey, bar none.
Fuck that guy too.
So, and Clemson still recruits trenches fairly well.
Guess what? We're prepared for all that. We're the better team going into that game. We are the better all-around team. We have the more experienced quarterback. We have the better running back room, even though Shipley is over there. We have the better offensive line. Defensive line, maybe there's an argument there. Linebackers, I'll take our linebackers over them. Secondary, I always take our secondary over Clemson. The secondary.
Yeah, I think LSU has LSU has the best top tier talent of any team on our schedule.
So LSU is the game we got to hang our hat on for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You realize that means we can't miss a beat.
I mean, that is.
We beat LSU. We can't miss a beat anywhere else.
It is what it is.
We will not make a playoff game if we lose to anyone else.
Well,
besides LSU.
Here's why I disagree with that. I watched TCU go all the way, lose to Kansas State in their conference championship game, and still make a playoff.
They did?
Yes.
I missed that? What the fuck was that?
So you can potentially, if you beat LSU, that's going to give you so much high mark that you can drop a game. But you have to win the conference, though. But I think you can drop a game.
Losing the motherfuckers.
I think you can drop a game. But
they lost by 3 in OT, though.
I don't care. You still lost the game.
And they beat them before that.
You still lost the game.
And they still somehow made the fucking playoffs. That's crazy to me, to be honest.
Like I said, the first 4 weeks is going to show you what this team is.
They proved that they belong, though.
This man.
By winning that other game. Who did they beat? They beat TCU beat
TCU. I mean, they beat everybody in the Big 12 for the most part.
But they won a playoff game.
Oh, and they beat Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's Michigan, so I get that.
Peter Woods is a true freshman. Like, there's no way he's the best in the country. I'm not saying Peter Woods isn't a good player, but he's a true freshman. Stop it.
Okay.
So that's my point, though, man. Like this schedule matches up extremely well for us.
Fuck the backup at LSU. Fuck the starter. Fuck the guy who holds the water bottles for him. Fuck the guy who made the water bottles for him.
If you beat LSU, let's say you lose to Clemson week 4, but you didn't beat Clemson, you will make. I agree with that. You will make the playoff. You'll make the playoff.
Oh, that's right. We can see Clemson in the ACC championship again.
We're going to see Clemson twice because I don't see another team in the ACC that's really going to challenge. You're going to see Clemson twice this year. Wholeheartedly believe that. So win or lose that first game is almost irrelevant, but you got to be.
It'd be good to establish dominance, though.
Oh, it would be. Absolutely.
It'd be nice to establish dominance. Like, let them know, hey, shit ain't the same no more. We back. Like, we came back for our throne. Thank you for holding it. Is it even possible that we see Clemson 3 times?
No. Well, it can be
Hey,
so theoretically. Okay, let's say Clemson beats you the first game, and then they run the table, but then you also run the table, but you got that one loss. But then you beat them in the ACC championship game. So now you got a one-loss Clemson and a one-loss Florida State. It's feasible because I think doesn't Clemson open the season with Georgia?
because if they beat Georgia, we beat LSU.
Right.
You can't argue that SEC deserves it over ACC.
Right, you can't argue that. If Clemson beats Georgia and we beat LSU, you can't argue that. I agree with that. Like you need two ACC teams in. Lewis says two ACC teams ain't getting in, but if hypothetically, what we're talking about, if Clemson beats Georgia, bro, but we beat them, and we beat LSU, but they beat us, but both Florida State and and Clemson have one loss. I don't see how. I don't.
That means somebody's going into the ACC championship game undefeated, and somebody's coming in with a low one loss. If the one loss team wins, they got an argument to be in the ACC in the playoffs. But you really gonna take the team that already beat them and beat the SEC team and got all this stuff on these? That's tough.
And Clemson plays Notre Dame, and they're gonna get credit for their Notre Dame if they beat them. Clemson opens with Duke. Don't they play? They have a non-conference. Who's their non-conference?
They got Georgia game? Somewhere, man.
I think their non-conference game is Georgia.
I thought they had a big non-conference game.
They usually do. Let me look it up real quick.
I'm looking it up too, man. I'm working on that. I swear they had a big non-conference game, man.
I thought they played Georgia.
Duke, nah, they don't have Georgia on there. There's Duke, Charleston, Southern. They got a cakewalk before us, and then after that, they just got Notre Dame.
You're telling me they're non-conference? Okay, so then I stand corrected then.
No, it can't happen if that's the case.
Yeah.
If they don't have Georgia on that schedule, then no.
With their schedule looking like this, then no. From what I'm looking at, yeah, they open up with Duke.
They'd have to be the undefeated team.
Yeah.
And then lose to us.
They'd
have to be the undefeated team and lose to us in the ACC championship game, and then maybe they sneak in as the 4th seed for the playoffs. But this is maybe looking at one undefeated team in all of college football. If that's the case, we can't see a TCU team or a Utah team without a loss, and they keep them out. They're not going to do that. Does Georgia make it back to the playoffs?
Hard to see how they don't.
Because almost anybody can QB that team at this point.
I mean,
I give you 10 quarterbacks in the nation to go to Georgia, and they're gonna win a national championship.
The thing with Georgia is who in the SEC East is gonna really compete. It's not Florida.
It's not South Carolina.
It's got to be Tennessee.
Nope. Who their quarterback now?
Milton.
No.
So, yeah, I think Georgia has an easy road back to it, to be honest with you.
So we count Georgia in there. So yeah, now we make it real tough.
The question is going to be is the team from the SEC West going to be able to beat Georgia?
What does Bama look like? What does Auburn look like?
Bama needs a quarterback. LSU, if you ask me, I think LSU is the best team in the SEC West right now.
Hey, maybe I missed something. Is Van Dyke in the portal?
No,
he's not. Okay,
no.
Just wanted to check.
Nah, you gonna stay in.
That's good for him. I thought he would leave.
He should have. He should have.
There's better opportunities out there.
He should have. But I said that initially, Van Dyke should have left with Jake Garcia, but here we are. Shout out to Van Dyke. He wants to prove that he's a Miami guy.
Bama got a quarterback from Notre Dame.
Yeah, that means nothing. Bama doesn't have a quarterback right now is the problem with Bama. LSU, to me, looks like the most complete team in the SEC West. As of right now, Georgia's got to be the odd-on favorite.
Yeah, this guy was Tyler Buchner or whatever.
Yeah,
you're not.
They got Alex. They got Alex Hornibrook.
Where is he at? Is he? What is he? He still playing football?
He selling real estate probably or something. I don't know. He ain't playing football. I know
He
that.
working for Enterprise?
I don't know what he doing. He ain't playing
He ain't working
football.
for Enterprise? Oh no. Okay.
Working at Discount Auto Parts or something. I don't know what he doing.
You know that's where athletes go, bro. That's part of the Enterprise's recruiting strategy. They come and get athletes. I
Bama
don't
isn't even a top 10 team. You might want to pump your brakes there.
know. Whoa there.
You might want to pump your brakes.
Gonna relax on that for now.
But they're probably not a top 5 team. But
TCU isn't.
no, TCU. TCU is going to take a step back.
I got USC
In your top 5?
in the top 5. Yeah.
Okay, what's your top 5?
In no order, or you want me to give an order? I don't want to give
Just
an
your
order.
top 5.
Just in no order. I got Georgia in there, obviously. Who's that quarterback this year? I don't care, but
For
Georgia's
Georgia?
in the top 5.
I think it's Beck.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Georgia's in the top 5. I'm gonna put USC in there. I am going to put I don't want to, but I'm going to. I'm going to put Michigan in there. And purely on quarterback play alone, and you're gonna love this. And this is simply a preseason thing. I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. Texas.
I can see it. Texas has a lot of talent. Texas has
They
a
got
lot
a
of
lot of
talent.
talent, and
A lot of talent.
I like their path. Oh wait! Are they on the SEC schedule now?
They're still in
Not
Big
yet.
12. They're still last.
Yeah,
I think
Texas.
This is last year in the Big 12.
Because if they were on the SEC schedule, I was going to change it. But I got Texas and then Florida State.
I ain't mad at that Texas one. Like my top 5's got to be Georgia, obviously. 2-time defending champion, so you got to have Georgia in there.
Yeah.
Ohio State continues to be just Ohio State at this point. I would probably put Ohio State and Michigan in the top 5. Michigan is iffy, but somehow they always end up in the playoff. So
I got them over. I got them over Ohio State this year.
I don't know. Ohio State is
who's Ohio State returning quarterback?
That's the only question. But at the end of the day, I just feel like it don't even matter with the receivers he's going to be throwing to. But we'll see.
Yeah, I hear you, but you still got to get it to DJ, whatever, the ugly motherfucker. He had receivers to throw to.
No, Clemson didn't have them receivers like they had in years past. They really like. You think he had receivers? Name one. Who's the receivers he was throwing to? They didn't have him.
Right.
They didn't have him. They had guys that had they had guys that had stars by their names, but they didn't do anything. I think Ohio State
is the quarterback at
Texas, bro. I was about to say I don't know why Lewis Arch ain't got nothing to do with it.
Arch ain't got shit to do with it. I don't believe in Arch either. But
Quinn
Ewers is a quarterback there, and Quinn has proven he's him.
Arch ain't got nothing to do with Texas. I like Texas in that top 5 myself. So my top 5 would probably be Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, and LSU.
I see what you did there.
No, LSU got dogs, dog.
So is LSU better than us?
I think LSU's deeper than us. I think they were deeper than us last year, and we still beat them. So I don't know if that matters necessarily on game day.
Exactly, and I don't think it matters. I think our top talent.
I think our problem against our problems only happen if injuries happen. We didn't suffer any injuries in the LSU game, so none of that ever got exploited, which is why we ended up beating LSU, and we really dominated them for 3 quarters. And then we got stupid at the end and let them back in the game.
I didn't say USC. I said USC.
I forgot about USC too.
I said USC.
I would put USC at 6 for me.
I said USC, Georgia.
I don't think USC
Florida
would beat
State and Texas.
I don't think USC beats any of the teams that I can't put Florida State in the top 5 until we get our safety depth. figured out. I can't put a team in the top 5 and we have 2 legit safeties on the roster. Like I can't do that. I'm just being real. I can't do it.
I hear you. I hear you.
I
It's
can't do
just,
it.
but if you can put LSU and then feel like we can beat LSU,
If
that's where there's the conflict for me.
you
Like I
beat
feel like we
LSU,
can beat LSU,
you beat LSU, everything changes. But
and then you're talking about there's teams in there in that top 5 that we're talking about. Like I think we can beat Texas.
Texas is a interesting team. Texas.
I think we stand a chance, a very good chance.
You know how I feel about Quinn Edwards. Like, I think Quinn Edwards is
he's the guy.
The guy.
He's QB1 whenever he goes into the draft.
Then you bring in Baxter. Now he's just a true freshman.
They did get Baxter, didn't they?
But he's just a true freshman. But
he gonna get some carries.
Texas has talent.
Because didn't Texas lose 2 running backs?
I know they lost Behan, obviously.
It was somebody else that they lost too.
But at the end of the day, Texas has talent, bro. They've been recruiting like crazy. Good night, Steven. Appreciate you for showing up.
All right, bro.
But yeah, I like USC too. But the Pac-12 always throws me for a wrench. So Lincoln Riley also, like, I don't have a lot of faith in Riley. Will put up a lot of points. He'll win a lot of regular season games. I don't think Riley is going to win the big one.
But he has the schedule to be able to win games, man. And but he can get there. Like, and if you get to the playoffs, how are you not a top 5 team? Like he has the path to get to the playoffs. I guess that's kind of why I put him in the top 5.
USC.
Like
yeah, but I don't think USC would beat any of the teams I have over. I don't think USC.
I think they could beat LSU.
I don't think. No, hell no. They can't block LSU to beat them. And you saw that with Utah last year. Like, until USC shows me that they've addressed the trenches, they can't beat LSU. Hell no.
Dude. All right, so this is my argument against that. Like you're saying they can't block LSU. We can. How is Florida State not top 5 then? How is Florida State not the better team? You're talking about depth. So we get into depth about our depth on offense. And I'm more worried about LSU's defense than their offense. Our offense has the depth to deal with it in every single way. I know you're worried about the safety position, but I'm also not worried about Jayden Daniels beating us deep. That ain't what I'm worried about. I'm worried about him running the ball against us.
I think LSU is a deeper team.
On what side of the ball?
Definitely on defense. I think when you look at LSU, like I like Kalen DeLoach. I like Tatum Bethune, but we don't have a linebacker like Perkins. Like Perkins is probably a day 1 top 15 pick at linebacker for LSU. If Mason Smith is healthy this year, which they expect him to be, like we kind of got lucky last year when he gets hurt in the first half of that game. Well, if he's not hurt in this game, our O-line's better, absolutely, but that's going to be a force we're going to have to deal with in the middle.
I think, and Lewis just said it.
I think our offense is better than theirs. Speaking of LSU,
I think by far, bro.
But I don't think our defense is. I don't know if our defense is as talented. It doesn't mean they won't play it better than theirs. I don't know if our defense is as talented as theirs. And that's where I really look at it with LSU. Okay. And until I'm comfortable in the back end of our defense, I can't give us the nod over LSU in terms of where I rank them. It doesn't mean I don't know if we. That doesn't mean I don't think we could beat them. I'm just talking about meaningless preseason rankings.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we're so I'm pretty sure this goes without saying. You got us somewhere in the top 10 though.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're like 7 or 8. Like I would put USC at 6 just because you returned the Heisman. I'd probably put Florida State right at, and I think Florida State would beat USC because I don't think USC could block us. The same thing I say about USC and LSU. I don't think USC could block block LSU.
Wow.
I don't think USC could block it. I think we would beat USC, but I'll give USC the sixth spot just because they have Caleb Williams.
Dude,
But the rankings
bro,
don't matter
I
ultimately,
like
right?
Caleb Williams, bro, but
I actually like Drake May more than Caleb personally.
you do
Yeah,
as an NFL quarterback or a college quarterback right now?
as an NFL quarterback. As a
Okay,
college
because
quarterback, I probably take Caleb. My thing about I don't trust Lincoln Riley quarterbacks,
okay, I understand that.
and I'm watching Drake May in North Carolina play with nobody, and I'm watching Caleb Williams play with Terrence
With who, bro?
Addison, and all these other dudes. I'm watching Terrence. I'm watching Caleb play with all these other
Hey,
dudes.
hey, Caleb, wish he had a receiver like me, bro.
I'm watching Caleb play with the Bolitnikov winner and all these dudes, and I'm saying,
Hey, I don't know if y'all know my name is actually Terrence Addison. This nigga done put my whole government out there talking about I'm catching passes from Caleb Williams. Yeah, that means it's getting late.
yeah, I'm tripping.
It's like you got Terrence Addison. Oh boy, I need that clip. Hey, what's that at, man? Oh boy, 255 mark, 256. Okay, yeah, we gonna need that.
I'm tripping. What's that
Well,
motherfucking
Jordan gone now. Jordan's in the NFL, right?
who?
Jordan Addison. My, technically, I'm
You
related.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
At
Jordan.
Jordan Addison. But no, he's gone. My point was though he played with all of them boys last year,
Yeah,
and he don't have. I don't. I still think he has
they
talent. So
have
we'll see.
talent there.
Yeah, Jordan Addison. I think they have talent. So we'll see. We'll see.
And the other thing about like this whole FSU versus LSU thing, we started to we were the better team for 3.5 quarters clearly, 3 quarters clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and we started to lose some traction as far as. And this was the one thing I always used to tell you about Mike that kind of he would let up. I felt like he always let up a little bit, and maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was the team. They got comfortable. But that's where a coach is supposed to get on their necks. Like, hey,
Well, I
no,
think if you're talking about the LSU game strictly, they definitely went into a play not to lose mode at the end, especially defensively. We went into like we went into like a prevent defense at the end, and it just you know
it was sad.
you know so
Hey, Terrell, man, don't sleep on me, man. I ran a 4.6, bro. We was out here, bro. Hey, Florida athletes different, man. I had my Kelvin Benjamin thing going on, man. Yeah, Fable. Oh, that's interesting. That's when Fable got hurt.
well
Okay, I
Fable
forgot that's when he got hurt.
well
He got
Fable
sick on the last drive,
dominated. He dominated LSU.
and that's shit. Well, that's a big thing.
You go back and watch
What
that
are they
tape.
bringing in the portal? Do you
Fable
know?
LSU, a bunch of DBs. They got some defensive linemen they brought in the portal too.
They ain't fixed that O line. I'm fine with that.
So their O line was young, so they're counting on the O line to be better just because it's a year better, right? Verse was dominant too. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I agree with y'all. Like, I'm not saying we're gonna lose to LSU. I'm saying if I was ranking them now, I would just rank LSU ahead. But if you've watched me for any amount of time, I could care less. I think preseason rankings are
Trash.
stupid. Like, I don't think a team. I don't think they should be. I don't think they should even do rankings until like week 4 or 5.
Burst had a couple sacks in that game
Yeah, no.
too.
Verse was dogging. Fable was like we for three and a half quarters, bro. We were on that, and then we got complacent at the end.
Yeah. Terrell, we not gonna make this about me, bro.
Not to mention a couple stupid goal line calls that I wasn't fan of, and yeah,
Until we figured out Lundy was the answer at the goal line.
right. And was doing some other stuff there. So um, the freshman all tackle from last year that startup will be better this year. Of course he will, because he's just a year better. But Verse is a year better too. So we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just to
Yeah.
answer your question, Terrell, man, I'm a defensive end, bro. Like I'm a defensive end, bro. That's it. We leave it at that.
Well, Marco, I've said this a lot about. I think a lot of people spit numbers and don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like
I know the fucking numbers.
people, no, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying people talk about 4.5s and four. Like people talk about four
Motherfuckers, you
fives.
gotta move.
Right. People talk about 4.5s like that's slow
You gotta fucking move to run 4 or
because
5, bro.
like the NFL has programmed people that 40-yard times. If it's not a 4.3 or better, it's not bro. A 4.5 is stupid. 4.6 ain't slow either. For being honest with you.
I ran a 4.6 breaking 11 seconds in 100 meters, bro.
So
Like you gotta move, bro.
I kind of hate to go back here, but it's kind of like with this Dion thing, with all this turnover. Like people act like this shit is Madden. Like you just can't get rid of 54 players in the portal, bro, and think you can field a team. Fans have been confused with 40 times and all this stuff. The thing you can just like this is a video game, bro. It's not video games out here, bro.
You still gotta play football, man. You still gotta get hit.
If we get Coleman, we win by 2. Wow.
We get Cole, we in the national championship. No, fuck around. Well, baby, honestly, why not? Think about how much our offense opens up.
I think our offense is good now. I don't think our offense opens up anymore without Coleman.
I just think the ball.
I think Coleman just gives you a legit number 2 guy.
Is he without question the number 2 guy? Like, can he push for that number 1 guy?
No, he can push for the number 1.
I'm about to say, like, he
can push for number 1. My point is, Coleman gives you can't double Johnny, and you definitely don't want to put someone over the top of Coleman because you really want to leave Johnny on an island at 6'7"?
Just it's insane.
But Coleman has shown the ability to run by DBs,
and that's why Murdoch is important too, dude. Like, you're not guarding 2 6'7" guys, bro. You're not. You got a tight end and receiver out there that freaking tall. No, it's not happening. That's something to look forward to. We'll see what happens with Coleman.
Like I said, you get Coleman, and offensively, you can put a ribbon on it, put a bow on it. That thing's ready.
Top 5 offense in college football.
Yeah, come September, that offense is ready. We still need to work defensively on the depth part of it, and mainly in the secondary.
And key is the biggest key.
To that. Yeah, key is the first domino that needs to fall.
Yeah.
And then from there, you still got to add some more pieces defensively. But key's the first domino that needs to fall.
And I know nobody wants don't move this guy from corner, don't move that guy from corner. Somebody's going to be willing to move from corner.
AZ's probably going to be the guy. I would not remove Ronaldo, but AZ has to be the guy because he's probably has the highest. He's probably the most talented guy, just naturally talented guy in the secondary.
And he can move to safety and then move back to corner if he wants to.
Like Jalen used to, right? Jalen,
he can do whatever.
Played safety at first, and then Jalen could move around.
I think
maybe AZ can do the same.
Adding Fintrell is a big part of being able to have that flexibility. Where I know you're harping on the depth situation there. But adding Fintrell in the portal was a big part of being able to move some of those corners around. I didn't think we would lose Coop. I didn't see that one coming. But otherwise, I think we still have the depth.
I don't know if I didn't see it. I just never thought the safety move was going to work. So
yeah,
when they said he was transferring, I was like, okay, because he. Just not a safety.
Yeah. So. Yes, Ja'Kai Douglas can take the top off. And it's that time of night, ladies and gentlemen.
And Dusty.
Hey, what? perfect world, bro, or this alternative universe we're living in, Dustin Hill shows up. Where the hell is he on the depth chart, bro?
You answer the question.
I don't fucking know. Like, I really don't.
Because he's on the scout team. The man hasn't played football in 3 years. Where do you think he's at?
How much eligibility does he have left?
He has all his eligibility because he hasn't used any of it. So he'll get here and have 4 years.
Wait, I thought he wasn't a transfer.
No, Dustin Hill is straight out of high school. He
Oh,
never enrolled.
It's been so freaking long, bro. I don't know.
Dustin Hill never enrolled. So he has all 4 years. He just hasn't played football in that same amount of time.
And this person it was so after he came back from his trip of being abducted by aliens.
Whenever he went
Where the fuck did he go, bro? Nobody wants to know.
Bro, they say he did a bid. I don't know. I don't know where he
Nobody cares about. No, he ain't been locked up, bro. We'd have been able to find that so easily if he was locked up.
Bro, I'm telling you.
If he was locked up, bro, you could find that he was locked up, bro. Like that's public information in the state of Florida.
No,
Where
he's
was he
from
locked
Louisiana.
up overseas? Was he still?
He's
you
from
can
Louisiana.
find out if somebody was locked up in Louisiana.
Bro, you talking to the wrong person, bro. I don't know. In 2023, the dude dropped no
He
social
must have
media.
got locked up in Russia, bro.
In 2023, he had no social media movement for 2 years. In 2023, bro, he no social media. He just fell off the face of the earth. Like this is the only kid I've ever known to fall off the face of the earth for the last 2 years.
How?
And yet we continue to talk. We continue to talk about him every offseason.
Have we heard something from social media wise?
I still ain't seen nothing from him. Apparently, his mom has a social media and she's posted some pictures of him. I don't know what the
man
hell.
Might be dead for all we know,
bro. I don't believe he's gonna show up. But I don't believe he shows up.
I cannot wait to see this guy, bro.
And if he shows up, he needs to have a picture of his social. He needs a social security card in one hand, birth certificate in the other hand.
With his grandma saying,
"That's my baby." That's my baby Dustin in the back. Like, I need all of that. I need all of that.
It's hilarious though, man.
I need all of that.
May 13th. Well, I'm looking forward to that day, boy.
All right.
I'll put it on my calendar, man. William, I got it on my calendar, man. I'm gonna call you too.
And the rules say he can't have socials because he on probation. See what I'm saying? They saying the man did a bid, bro. I don't know what's going on with Dustin Hill.
Dog, like ain't no way you would know, bro.
Bro, prisoners have whole social media accounts, but we saying Dustin Hill can't have a social media account, man. Y'all gotta stop the cap.
They be out there recording videos, bro.
Dudes be locked up
in prison.
Bro, dudes be locked up in state penitentiaries doing whole Instagram lives. But we saying Dustin Hill can't have a fucking Facebook.
Hey, bro. We need to get Dustin on the channel, bro. That's what we need. I still wouldn't believe it was him.
And theoretically, this dude does show up. Who's gonna ask the hard question?
I will. Let me get a chance.
If I got a chance, of course I'd ask him.
Yeah, I'm asking, bro, where the fuck you been?
I'm not a part of
like that. Where the fuck you been, bro?
I'm not a part of the real media. Who in the media is gonna really ask this dude, bro? Where you been at the last 2-3 years? No one's gonna ask him that. If he does magically show up. What's up, Sandra? How you doing? Bro, Dustin Hill's the FSU Legends, and he's never played a game for the Seminoles. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, there's always a guy that knows the situation, but they never speak. And it's crazy. Supposedly, there's a guy from 247. Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I've been following the same story y'all been following. There's always a guy who knows the situation, and that'll tell you that he going whatever. Just wait. Just wait until he shows up. Just wait. If he shows up, well, we'll talk about it.
Ain't no way, boy.
I don't believe he shows up though.
I'd love to see it happen just because when have you ever heard of anything?
It's never. I talked about it. This has never happened. I can never think of a time where a kid. There have been times where kids didn't initially sign to a school and came back later. Has there ever been a time where a kid didn't sign and disappeared for 2 years and then signed and played like football? Like, when does this happen?
I mean, you know, maybe he had to just get his life together, man. I think everybody at this point would love to see it happen.
I would love to see it. I just don't believe it happens.
Like, it'd be great to see just because.
Serious question for you, not you, Mr. Orr. I'm sorry, or M. Roar, or whatever. How do you pronounce your name? But,
We went over this, bro.
Yeah, we went over. I think we said it's M. Roar, even though it looks like Mr. Orr. But anyway, I meant to click on William because I have a question for William. William, even if he shows up, you really think he's playing year one? Come on, be honest, William. You said if he shows up, you think he might beat out Douglas. Come on, man.
For what?
Come on, bro. Let's be honest. Come
What?
on. He's really gonna beat out. He's not
He
playing.
might be Douglas the tight end in a race.
Bro, he's not playing year one.
He does not. No.
There's no way. Unless
Ain't
this
no
dude,
way.
unless this dude's been playing a prison yard football for the last 2 years. There's no way. It's just like, what are we talking about?
Hey, my boy led the
Playing the
D-block.
Yeah, the
D-block
longest
to the
yard. He's
championship.
playing the longest yard for the last 2 years.
D-block won the championship.
Sandra, thank you for the $5 super sticker. She says, a character holding their head in their hand saying, oh, wait a minute. I got to go to the thing because she put an emoji in there. She put emoji in there.
That's interesting, bro. You using this different streaming platform. It's different.
Yeah, I'm using the
Restream Studio.
Yeah, I'm using this one now. It got more features. But thank you, Sandra, for the super sticker.
The money goes into my piggy bank.
Shit. Speaking of 50 Cent.
Bro, that's on. If I'm Dustin Hill, I would tweet. We could tweet a question mark in the tweet, and social media would go insane.
Hey, it would go fucking wild.
Bro, if he tweeted one thing, and it don't even have to be a real like sentence, the bro could tweet the eye emojis, and Twitter would go bonkers. He ain't even done that.
He could. He get like a 100,000 followers off of eye emoji. That alone.
I didn't know he got cut.
Oh, dang, they did that to my boy. He'll find a home. He'll end up somewhere.
Yeah, Greedy Vance said last offseason he was coming. They was high school teammates, and it didn't happen. Greedy Vance knows the same thing we know. Y'all better stop counting on Greedy Vance to tell you what the hell going on.
hey, Dustin Hill gonna pull a Walt Frazier walk out at halftime, get on the field, return the halftime kickoff,
and leave again, and never be seen again.
It seems he's injured himself. He's going straight to the locker room after that touchdown. Oh man,
I don't believe he's coming, but
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
But with that said, bro, we went on 3 hours, and it's 1 o'clock where we at. It's 2 o'clock where they at.
Yeah.
If you on the East Coast, by the way. So.
Oh damn, it is 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it is. So with all that said, y'all, real quick before we get out of here, I need y'all to do one thing for me.
Go your motherfucking ass to sleep. Whoa, shit, what the fuck good buddy hit me with? I told him I wasn't sleepy. He had to have a brick in that bitch.
Oh goddamn! I like that one. I ain't seen that one yet. I might have missed
Yeah.
that a few times.
I need y'all to smash that like button, like Greg Jones smashed them DBs. And know the rules with the $5. Says, I wonder if FSU paying Dustin Hill's fines. That's my last joke about it. Shout out to Know the Rules.
Tallahassee on with the Seminoles. I've been getting to this paper, focus on my goals. Trying to run this money up and pull up in a row. All this talking gangster, that shit getting old.
All right, y'all boys, y'all take it easy, man. Alo, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna holla at y'all.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a night, y'all. Good last minute late night live stream. Can't be mad at it. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And share. Continue to share the videos, man. And share the channel. Let everybody know what we're doing over here on 863 Seminole TV. As always, y'all, it is your boy POLK. Stay classy. And we are out here. Go Noles. We let's hope we get Coleman and Key this weekend. And I'll holler at y'all, man. Hopefully we have some good news